Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody out there. How many of you guys are out there? I see you. Quite a few, it looks like, Brandon. Looks like we got a full house tonight on this historic occasion. It is a historic occasion here. Um, let's see. Let me get over here to this. For those who do not know, I am Ron, and that is my buddy over there, Brandon Wills, in the co-pilot seat. And we are going to be taking you down a little road tonight. We're probably going to bump into some strange things sitting by the road, don't you think? They might be familiar. They might not be. I don't know. We're going to be talking about experiences tonight, particularly contact type experiences. Hopefully, we'll get some of you guys to share some of your stories with everybody. But right now, let me go over here. Oh, and we're going to see some never before seen footage tonight. Your first look at a new project that's going to be coming up. And of course, they're probably going to have time for Ovilus if everybody's interested. So anyway, let's get started by going over here and welcoming every single one of you guys like we always do. So let me pull up the screen. Who we got with us? We've got James Boggs over there. We got the Deuster in the house. Dewey. If you haven't got his book, go out and get it. There's a few more of them. Where's it at? Wait, I got a sweet spot. There it is. Eye in the sky right there. Dewey. Edwards, right there. Okay. We've got Spooky Appalachia over there. We got Pabs. We got Pat. He's here. We've got Adam. Adam Goods here. Adam, you're going to like tonight's show. Let's see. Who else we got? Anita Allen is here. From Facebook, no less. Let's see. Yeah, we got people joining us from Facebook. We got people joining us from YouTube. This is great. Everybody, come on in. Come on in. Fish Belly's here. Hello, Fish Belly. All right. Let's see what we've got. Okay, Brandon. Do we have anything particular in the news that you would like to touch upon before we get started tonight?
Yeah, there were actually a few things. What I would consider the most important thing that I saw come up is apparently Cornell University has been engineering robots that can heal themselves, meaning that if they get injured, they can fix themselves, or in theory, like if they're covered in like fake flesh, they can heal that up to protect their insides, kind of like the T2000.
Well, this seems brilliant.
T1000.
Yeah, this seems brilliant. It seems like the thing that you want to do. I mean, why not? Let's all do it. Good evening there, Facebook user. Hello. Everybody wave, Facebook user. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make intelligent machines that can heal themselves. This makes perfect sense to me. I mean, there's an incredible amount of progress being done right now with AI, obviously, coming up with, our special that we're still working on, the AI Wars. And, man, some of that stuff, I'm telling you, by the time we get this episode ready, I think the machines will have taken over. That's how fast it's happening. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. It went from like 12 years ago, you had these robots that looked like dogs that were getting kicked by MIT students. Now you've got possible humanoids that can heal themselves.
The only thing we've got right now, the saving grace, is that the ghost is not in the machine. As I've said, they've kept the shell and the brain away from each other. But how much longer is that going to last? How much longer will that last? Because I've got a feeling that it's not going to be much longer. They're on this race. We're on an artificial intelligence arms race almost. That's what it seems like to me. That's the rate at which we're going with this. And I have a feeling it's going to end very badly. Let's see. We got.
They've been using robots for.
The rise of the machines. Yes, Dewey. The rise of the machines is absolutely correct, my friend. Absolutely.
Using robots in war since mid '90s when Clinton was holding all those wars that he wasn't calling a war.
Oh, yeah.
They were actually wars.
Yeah.
Like in Serbia and such like that.
They're called conflicts or special operations. You get with the program. Adam Good said that's just what you're allowed to see. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Can you imagine what some of the AI toys that this is what they gave us to play with. Imagine what they've got. You know,
Yeah, for all we know, that technology could be like 5+ years old.
Think about it. Yeah, man. I'm telling you. It's some crazy, crazy stuff. Excuse me. Oh, man, got choked there. We've got a bunch of people. Looks like we got a bunch of people asking questions about Wood Booger Jamboree. Guys, Wood Booger Jamboree is absolutely coming up. That is May 20th, and that is going to be at Racine. And I hope that we see some of you guys there. We're going to have a panel there. Brandon's going to actually join us. We'll have an actual Wild and Weird Radio kind of panel thing going on there, which is going to be it's going to be awesome. Let's just be real. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a fun time.
With us three, first time ever.
Yeah, absolutely. So it'll be a lot of fun. We're going to bring out some of our equipment. Going to bring out some, casts for you guys to look at. Just a lot of fun. There's going to be food. There's going to be tons of vendors. Come out and pick up some stuff and help the community out, man. What do we got over here? We got Anita. I had a crazy dream about 15 years ago involving robots. And I am shocked by Boston Robotics, who is literally creating them almost exactly like the ones in my dream. Only a few more changes, and they will be ready. Yes, absolutely, I agree with you. I couldn't agree more, and I think that's where we're heading. I think you guys are really going to like the AI Wars when we get the program. Not the actual AI Wars. They're going to suck. I'm talking about the program, the AI Wars, that we're working on right now. Yes, peacekeeping missions is the latest euphemism. I'm sorry, I forgot, Pat. Yes, they're not special operations. They're peacekeeping missions. Facebook user, I hope to be there. Yes, I hope you're there too. I hope everybody's there. James Boggs, where is it? Let me throw the banner up for you guys. We usually do this at the end, but I just got that message and I wanted to why not, tell you about it, right? So here you go. It is at John Slack Park. It's in Racine, West Virginia. It's a free event. Everybody just show up, grab you some food, grab you some vendors, some items from the vendors. I mean, they had some incredible stuff there last year, I'll tell you. If you got instruments, bring instruments. Go sit under a tree and play some music. This is it's a peace, love, and Bigfoot kind of a day. And, it's a good time to get out there and just, not worry about the world. Just go out there and have some fun. Peace, love, and Bigfoot for one day. It's not going to kill you.
Don't know where Racine is. It's on the opposite side of the mountain from Marmet in Boone County. Mm-hmm. It's maybe 10 minutes from Marmet or so.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to find, actually.
Yeah.
And it's a really pretty little park. It's a great little park. We packed that thing last year, so we're going to pack it again this year. Let's see what else we got going on over here. I'm trying to keep up with everybody. I am keeping up with everybody as fast as I can, by the way. And tonight, as I have said, hey, Ashley, welcome, welcome, welcome. That's our Wib over there. That's our woman in black. I love that picture she did. I'm trying to encourage her to come to Whiffville with that get up on. That'd be great. I might actually wear my hat. I don't know yet. I don't know. I might. Who knows? It could happen. Wood Booger is going to be amazing this year. Yes, it is. Hopefully you can be there, Pat. That would be awesome. Oh, and there's a river right beside there. If you guys like to fish, hey, there's a river right there. Have fun.
Some of you guys I've never met before, so if I stare at you like I don't know who you are, you might want to try introducing yourself.
Well, some of you guys I have met before, and I still might stare at you like I don't know who you are because I'm terrible with names sometimes. But I know you. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's you with the face. Yeah, I remember you.
I mean, I probably will wear my alien dress. Oh, I remember that dress. That was cool. Yes. Ashley's great. Okay, let's see. Anita. I make wicked cool hats if y'all want custom ones. Of course you do. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh my goodness. So guys,
I guess a steampunk hat that says Wild and Weird Radio on the front of it. That'd be awesome.
Okay. So to catch you guys up, a little bit. We're going to be talking about some UFO stuff tonight. And yes, that's exactly right. Met y'all with Bill UFO Fest. That's correct. And we'll be speaking there again. You'll get to hear a new thing this year, and I'm going to be showing some new footage that you've never seen before. And we're going to be talking about some of our research, trying to figure out what some of these things are. Speaking of which, tonight the subject is going to be all about experiences. Anyone who's had experiences, anyone who thinks you've had experiences, feel free, Q&A, ask questions and whatnot. We're going to be talking, and you can ask whatever you want to ask. It really doesn't matter. We do ask that, if people do share their experiences, no heckling. We don't allow heckling, obviously. No. That's not our thing. That's not what we're here for. These people have real experiences. They do not understand them sometimes, and it is just not cool to do that. I've seen other people do that, and I do not like it. I am an experiencer, and I do not very much care for that. You can make fun of me all you want, but you do not make fun of our friends.
Yeah, definitely not. You never know who you're making fun of and what situation they're going through.
No, this is true.
That's not cool.
No, it's not cool. It's not cool. I think that's one of the issues with humanity. We have a lot of people who don't think about how the other person feels, or that people feel in general. I think we just forgot people feel because we hang out so much with machines.
Yeah, it's hard to get that through a computer. It's also really hard to pick up emotions through messaging too. I'm really bad about that. Like,
oh yeah,
I'll be like, "Are you actually mad, or are you just joking?"
How many keyboard wars were started in chat rooms back in the freaking 2000s? I mean,
millions.
Yes, exactly. I need a lifelong experience here. That's why I studied paranormal, and I have a killer library. Yes, absolutely. So we're probably not going to say anything that you don't already know. But I don't know.
That's why a lot of us got into this, because we've all experienced something that we couldn't explain.
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely true, and we kept it quiet for years because we figured people were going to think we're crazy. And then we just get to the point where either A, you don't care anymore, or B, something just keeps pushing you. You're like, well, this is not a coincidence. It's time to get out there.
Yeah, like me, for instance, I was sitting in the middle of nowhere just staring at the sky. I saw a silvery object stop in the middle of the sky. It sat there for a few minutes, and then it zoomed off so quickly, all that I saw was an after image.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, nobody's going to believe me if I tell them this story. It happened twice, actually, almost in the same spot.
Oh, I'll guarantee it's happened more than that. Adam Good. I make fun of myself enough. There you go, buddy. Absolutely. 100%. Couldn't agree with you more. Can we make fun of Joe since he's... Oh, can we make fun of Joe since he's not here?
Mm-hmm.
Or he is. Or is he? That's what you might say. You never know. There. He's always there. He's somewhere.
Joe's always present.
He can be here. I don't know, but we can totally make fun of him. I mean, I do that to his face. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. Don't worry about that.
Hey, let me show you guys something. We've been pushing to get us listed in Paranormality magazine.
Oh yeah, we were. That's right. Yeah.
I got my physical copy from last month.
Did you get it? I saw it at Dave's. I started to pick up a copy, and I didn't. Did you just rip your copy? It's not worth anything now. Oh, I'm sorry.
I had the page already.
Wow.
Technical glitch.
We're so professional. I don't know why people listen to us.
There it is.
But I do appreciate it.
Couple pages got stuck.
What you got? Oh, there you are. Oh, yes, the old logo. You guys remember the old logo?
Well, you remember also number 6 down there. There's Ashley's podcast.
Oh, where's it at? Shut up. Put it up there a little bit so we can see it. Where's she at?
Number 6.
There she is. I see her. That's right. On Wednesdays we talk weird. Number 6, Ashley. And over there is that the Blue Room? That's
yep.
Yeah.
Number 7. Yep.
Guys. Yeah, great guys. All great guys.
Oh, my camera's glitching again. And that's weird.
Yeah, man,
I think my camera's haunted.
Your camera's haunted.
Hey, listen, guys. Once we hit that monetization mark,
we think it's ghosts. Ashley, we think it's ghosts. Yeah, you need to get a new camera. Let's see. I'm fine. Yeah, go ahead. I'm fine if people make fun of my experience because I have been through stuff they haven't, and it's just jealousy. And yeah, man, I think you're right about that. I think you're absolutely right.
Exactly.
Good Lord. You okay over there? It sounds like you fell off.
Yeah, at least I'm not cussing right now.
Huh.
This is a family-friendly show.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Try not to hurt yourself. Perhaps the strangest thing I've experienced has been the possession of Brandon's computer. Yes, we all have witnessed this, every single one of us. But I don't make fun of anybody for what they tell me happened to them. No, you don't, and I've always appreciated that. Hey, that's me. Yeah, that was you. Brandon. Either your flux capacitor is out of phase or you have a loose camera connection. I would go with one of those. I think Dewey's right. Is it working?
Could be.
Okay.
So far.
It's working now. Don't move anything. Okay. Don't move anything. Adam Willie Straber has been made fun of for being raped. Yes, I left a wound, or it left a wound that still plagues him to this day. People are just vile and worse. We're going to talk about that a little bit later too, bud. That was one of my pet peeves of the whole thing, where people make fun of that stuff, and it's like, would you do that to someone who's had that happen? I mean, no, you wouldn't, but you think it's okay.
That's because they don't think he actually.
Wow. Okay. Well, the aliens apparently came and got Brandon there. Hopefully he'll be back. Anyway, my money's on bad cables too, brother. I think that's what we've got out there, and I think we're going to have to get Brandon some new cables. Or either, as James said, the P-38 space modulator needs a kick. It could be that too. So here's a little something before we get back into all this. You guys, like I said, share your stories, ask your questions, post your opinions. That's what we're here for tonight. This is all about experiencers. It's an experiencer kind of thing. So anyway, but before we dive deeper into that, many don't know, we were at Ohio Bigfoot Conference last weekend. And at the conference, we were going down to conduct an interview with a very well-known researcher, and so we did. And we went out into the field with all of our gear, to do this documentary on site. He wanted to do it in an area where he had experiences before. And you know me, go prepared. So we took a little bit of everything with us, just in case. And it was a good thing we did. We started having some weird experiences out there that mimicked some of the things that had happened before. And I don't know. You guys can be the judge. I'm going to play a little clip of that later for you. I got a little bit of a trailer for you. It's not produced completely yet, so it's not ready for release. Once it is, it will be. But Brandon got to see it. What do you think, Brandon? You got words for that?
What little bit I've seen, I was like, wow. Like, this stuff just, it seems like you guys are just magnets to this kind of phenomenon.
Yeah, if you guys want, apparently, I'm starting to think that if anybody wants to really experience something, just follow us into the field, and it's probably going to happen at this point. And again, multiple witnesses again. So there's that.
And multiple pieces of equipment.
Oh gosh, yeah, multiple pieces of equipment. Thermal, actually. We got thermal on this one. And then the weird stuff happened.
Oh, and the weird thing too is that
Adam
experience
want me to
different
step
things.
in for Brandon. Hey, Adam, you can step in. I mean, you can join us if you want. It's an experiencers panel, so if you want to come on and tell a story to everybody, man, the floor is open to you. I'll send you a link, and you pop right in. It'll put you in there automatically, just like that. You let me know. And just like that, he's out again. Let's see. What you want to hear about? Ghosts, cryptids, Bigfoots, mostly UFOs, psychics, or occult phenomena. Anita, tonight, the floor is open. we're pretty much going to be talking kind of about UFOs, contact kind of experiences, but it's literally open to anything because honestly, all those things could be the same thing for all we know. And man, Brandon's having some real issues tonight, looks like, with the equipment. So we're just going to keep chugging along until he figures that out. Brandon, if you have to, you might have to go in on the phone at this point. I don't know. Let's see. I just figured it out. I can set off a milliohm test unit. Really? When you're mad? How about that? That's awesome. I have to try that. I don't get as angry as I used to, though. Pat can tell you. There were times when I could probably blow one up if I had thought to test it. Oh, good. I might just do it tonight. Yeah, you let me know. We'll send you a link, brother. It's just that simple. Oh, and you can come in as audio, or you can come in as audio and video also. So you don't have to have a camera to do this. And yeah, I think he's got a real bad short in the cable, Anita. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. So anyway. We did have some very interesting and very weird things happen while we were out there on the trail. We went out to near Hosek Cave, and if anyone knows that, there was recently a death out there just a few weeks ago. Actually, someone fell off the top of it and died, and apparently this happens a lot there. Stay at the bottom, I guess, would be the best thing, or just stay on the trail. That way you don't end up going over the edge of the thing, but people still do it. We weren't there for that, though. We were not interested in ghosts. We were just recording a guy's accounts of past Bigfoot experiences. And very interestingly enough, this is Glenn Adkins, Ohio Squatch Project, the creator of the Squatch Stick, and he was pretty much taught by Robert Morgan. We talked about Morgan last week a little bit on some of the stuff. And they were out there literally back in the day, in the park when you shouldn't have been in the park squatching. But we were recording all this, and there's so many little points of synchronicity that occur during this that it's just mind-numbing. It really is mind-numbing. And I'll play a clip of that in a little bit, providing we get enough people in here to see it. Let's see. What we got.
I'm going to whip out my laptop.
Yeah, there you go. Just do that.
I'll still talk, but...
Yeah, do that. Yeah. I'm watching on the TV now as a heads up if I don't write in as much. That's fine. That's cool. I'm sorry that you're seeing this on TV. That's terrible. What do we got? My boss at the hotel I worked at could tell I was moody because computers would crash as I walked past them. Yeah, you guys ever had that happen? This is a common thing. Joe used to do that a lot. I think he still does on some things. I used to, but I don't as much anymore. But we've had that happen. There's the synchronicity thing where you'll be walking under a street light and it would go out or come on. We've had that happen a few times with some people. Repeatedly, more often than just coincidence, basically. Yeah, I had them all the time. Yes. These are common things, and these do seem to follow with the contact experience, to be honest with you. It's not an isolated event. As a matter of fact, I've got some checklists here for you. And why we're talking about this is because tonight's episode of the audio and tomorrow day's episode of the actual podcast, episode number 148, I believe it is, will be about aliens, owls, and others. And it's about screen memories. Is what it's about. You've heard us talk about screen memories over and over and over again. So we wanted to do a little bit of a deeper kind of dive into this, just for our live studio audience, so to speak. It's one thing to do a podcast, and another thing to be able to talk to you live and get these experiences and hear them. But there's a lot of correlations. It's not just owls. I know that that's what we'll be talking about on the episode itself, but there's not. It's not just owls. We reference Mike Cleland's work a lot, obviously, but we talk about other things as well. But some of the accounts are just odd, and it's important to look at these odd experiences. You've heard me ask you multiple times these questions, and they seem, rather vague. But once you look at them in the grander scheme, it kind of seems to create this pattern of events. And
Yeah.
whether it be an actual pattern or an imagined pattern is hard to say. But evidence seems to show that there are certain things. There is a pattern to it. And today, this evening, I actually posted up over on our talk page, over on the group. I actually posted up a small poll, and here I'll give you the link to that right now. Actually, let's see, copy link, and you guys can go over there and you can participate in that. But I'm going to read out some of the results so far. We've had a couple people going in there and answering so far. So it basically is this: if you if you have answered yes to any of these, and here was how it is. How many of you have had the following? Observed orbs or strange lights in or near your house. So far, 14%. Experienced missing time. So far, 14%. Out-of-body experiences. So far, 14%. Observed apparitions in the bedroom. 8%. Experienced accounts of anxiety in certain areas of the house. We've talked about this before. There's strange points of anxiety that they just come out of nowhere. These anxiety attacks when you go into a certain area of your house only. Interest in learning about more metaphysical healings, native ways, just spirituality, rethinking in general. 14%. Apocalyptic dreams and visions in relation to any three of the above items. 14%. Out of place and strange memories. 7%. Memories of seeing owls, deer, etc. in the house in relation with three or more of the items listed. 7%. So far we've gathered a little bit of data there for you. I wish we'd have got that out a little bit earlier, but it's okay because if we don't help in real time, we could at least help in in the meantime. So let's go over here and check this out real quick. Everybody's talking, and I was let's see. Yeah, Ashley said she's a frequent streetlight killer. So yeah, there you go. It happens a lot. I'm cleaning paintings in prep for an art show tonight, so I'm mostly listening. That's fine. You're good. We're not going to be showing anything right away. I'll let you know beforehand when we show the preview for the trailer for the new piece that we're going to do. I don't know why, but Joe wants to know who's wearing pants. I don't know. I don't understand that. I don't pretend to. Let's see.
Yeah, you can't question Joe.
Nope.
Terrify yourself.
Pat, if I'm that mad I have no answers of what's going on around me, could be setting off small explosions for I know. Yes, you could be, absolutely. Anita, I was doing the psychic stuff and our ghost moved into the house years before I saw UFO. Yep. This happened.
You know what I think would be fun to do, Ron, one day?
What's that?
We could do a whole podcast episode to bring on like 2 or 3 experiencers. Just have that be the whole episode. That would be fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. We could definitely do that. The owls are not what they seem. The Log Lady, Twin Peaks. Yeah, well, you know what? There's a lot to that. There's a whole lot to that little quote, actually. They aren't. Sometimes they aren't what they seem. The owls, the deer, the cats, even. Yeah, even cats. There's all kinds of stuff with screen images, like lots. Let's see. I'm trying to go down here real quick and see what we got. Making bacon without pants isn't advised. Yes, I agree with you, Ashley. It's very stupid to do. Very stupid. Don't do that. Kids, don't do that. I don't know. Joe's not being rational right now. Author and folklorist Oakley Dean Baldwin is checking out the show tonight. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. We're experiencing technical difficulties tonight, as with most live shows, and it still goes on. So I am glad to have you guys still here with us. Your poll just got more votes. There you go. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, guys, add to the data on that. Please add to the data on that. Making bacon. Come on, guys. Yes, it does. Making bacon absolutely requires pants. And spooky. Yes, you're not alone. I'm glad I'm not the only one that had that experience with streetlights. No, but see, if we didn't talk about it, you would think you were. And it happens a lot. It happens a lot more than you would probably even think about. And what's really curious is it really isn't listed in any of the literature as being anything, really. And I see it. I see it with a lot of people who are contact type individuals or psychic or all the above. And Pat made a good point. Some cats are optics. Yes, absolutely. So, that being said, what did you guys do? You are voting in real time, aren't you? I see that now. Wow. Awesome. Yeah, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Uh-oh. Back over here. So, I'm going to go down the list, actually, and I'm going to look at a few things here. Okay, here we go. So, in tomorrow's episode, you're going to hear us talk a little bit about, like I said, owls, screen images, things like that. And if you don't know what a screen image is, basically what a screen image is a possibility that's a false image that's either implanted by an intelligence, alien, extra-dimensional, etc., or it's created from your mind to deal with a trauma, kind of like PTSD, kind of thing. Wow, he's out again. But we don't know, and in Cleland's case, he believes that...
I'm here for the assist.
Hey, bud. How you doing? We're having problems over there.
I saw Brandon drop out, so I ran over to the router as quick as I could to jump on.
Well, there you go. That'll work. Hey, we're talking a little bit about the screen images and explaining those to folks right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the Oz factor, these things that don't make sense, that people witness, that kind of, you think it makes sense, but it doesn't, and you don't question it.
Yeah. Like one of the. Do you want to share a little bit about tomorrow's episode?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do a little bit of a share.
Brandon's back. Okay.
Back.
So once we finish this little snippet, I'm going to jump back off here and get back to cooking bacon, and I may or may not be wearing pants. But the. So what happened this weekend? Just you're gonna people listening on audio and on the video tomorrow when the episode drops. We were at Salt Fork Lake. We were documenting something completely unrelated, but we wound up, of course, taking the majority of our gear because why not, right? That's what we do. That's what we're known for. So that's what there it is. Well, there was one point where something weird happened, and there was a flash that took place. I'm the only one that visibly saw the flash. Ron saw an anomaly on the thermal at the same time that wasn't visible with the naked eye, but I saw a flash. And then some of the other people also reacted, yeah, what was that? Now, what's weird is generally we would all check our watches. We would check all of the data right then and there for what was taking place and what had just happened, But we didn't do that. For the first time since we've been out doing research, we didn't do that.
And we didn't question it.
And we didn't question it. It was just like, oh, yeah, that was weird, and just went on.
Yeah.
And
then the weirder thing happened.
Yeah, the weirder thing...
Well, apparently there's demons screaming somewhere now too. All right.
So, yeah, something even stranger happened later that night. And another thing, I'm not going to ruin the whole thing. You guys got to go watch the episode.
Spoilers. No spoilers.
But yeah, you got to go catch it. That was really, really bizarre. But that is an example of the Oz factor. We just took it as, this happens.
Yeah, we didn't question it because it's normal to us now. So it's kind of obvious. I guess we're kind of biased in that respect. It's like, Bigfoot could walk up on the ridge and we'd probably just be like, oh, there's Bigfoot.
Yeah, and like part of us, because of what we do, that might even just seem, we'd just be like, yeah, that's par for the course.
That's par for the course. That's normal.
There's Bigfoot down in the ravine on Thermal. Hey.
Look at that.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be, it's really cool. But, as for the flash, and then, that's not what I saw at all.
No, Ron didn't see a flash.
So it kind of, it kind of feels like a screen memory or, something that's going on there. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying it was kind of weird.
And we'll say this. This is the only thing, and this isn't going to ruin anything for tomorrow, but Salt Fork State Park has more paranormal and weird stuff that's reported out of that area than Bigfoot reports.
Oh, yeah,
but it's most famous for its Bigfoot reports.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Joe, I am so glad you could come join us.
I got to get back to cooking, guys.
Get back to making some sandwiches and some bacon, and put some pants on, for God's sake.
You got it. Thanks, Brandon. Y'all have fun. Ron, enjoy yourselves. Good talking to you guys, even for just a minute, guys. I'm back in my domain now, so I'll see y'all later.
Good job.
Have fun cooking bacon with no pants on.
Nah, it's never good.
Those grease splashes are probably great.
That's never good. Anita, in our house, it was fine for years. Then my sister got spooked and said she'd seen the devil in the unfinished section of the basement one day.
Oh.
I had my first remote viewing experience that evening when I saw two beings in that room. One turned to me, and I felt slammed in the back, unable to draw breath. 100% back in my room, scared the crap out of me, and I shrieked like a banshee. That was anxiety, causing for a long time thereafter. Yeah, I would imagine you had some PTSD over that one. I would have. I can relate. That was pretty crazy. I wish I had some experience to share, but Ron never takes me to see the weird stuff. All right, I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but you might want to be at Wood Booger. With the track record that what's going on right now, you might want to be at Wood Booger Jamboree.
Take two mirrors and face each other with them, and just say Candyman 10 times.
No, that's it. No, you're okay. One of our West Virginia thriller books is called Devil's Ground, a true wild and weird story. Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
There you go. Anita, our resident ghost, moving a couple of years after that. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? So basically, you know, there could be the possibility that you opened yourself up to it, and therefore you can see more stuff, or it's maybe related. It could be something completely different. So my question to everybody, in the you know, on the subject of screen images and screen memories, is this: you know, how do you know you had an event? How do you know that you may possibly have had some kind of a contact type event? Well, do you remember anything odd, like particularly odd, like bedroom sightings? Those are the number ones. You know, they'll see like a cartoon character at the foot of the bed. There's been the reports of that. Clowns, believe it or not. Angels.
Plaid man.
Jesus. Shadow figures. You name it. I mean, everything. And some believe, of course, that those, in relation to the other experiences, are related to some form of camouflage. Let's see. Going down the list here, trying to keep up. Sounds like a normal outing for me and my friends. Yeah, I know. That's pretty much what they're turning into now. Hey, Chris.
There's also
welcome aboard.
There's also those weird stories where people see a man wearing plaid standing at the foot of their bed, like the guy from the
man.
Bounty paper towels.
Yeah, the plaid man encounter. That happens with a lot with the cryptid crowd, from what I understand
Yeah.
as well. Like,
Listen, if any of you guys
Bigfoot.
have experienced that, I would love to ask you questions about it because that one baffles me.
Yeah, it's weird. Men in Black, yes, the Men in Black 2, also. Not the movie, but Men in Black also. Yeah. And Joe, or Joe's memory was being erased by the mib. That was the flash that he'd seen. Hey, man, you never know. I'm just saying, you never know anymore. Duck Dodgers is here. My dream is to track,
Right.
find, kill, eat, and then stuff my own Bigfoot. Would that make me a popular person or public enemy number one? I would say it make you public enemy number one, and probably not just among humans. That would be my guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear those guys take care of themselves pretty well when they have to. Let's see. And our Devil's Ground book has 2 West Virginia stories, one in Beckley and the other at Grandview. Grandview is an amazing place. I spent a lot of time out there. It may surprise people to know that Grandview actually has some interesting EM radiation. Just going to say that. Oh, Anita, what? You're half tempted to come to Woodbugger. Only half? We're not doing a good job. We got to get you all the way.
What will it take to convince you?
Right. Let's see. Okay. Ashley, my Mothman sighting was a bedroom sighting. Well, a bedtime sighting. That's right. Yes. And these happen. Like there's multiple accounts of the winged creature in the bedroom as well. Yes, they appear.
Yeah.
They appear as multiple things. So yeah, you're gonna get those like shadow beings, the Men in Black kind of things. Hat Man. So, oops.
I don't think so.
Hat Man.
Not all the time.
Yeah. You get that as well. Let's see. James, back about 76, 77, I woke up and saw 2 red eyes staring at me. Couldn't move, scream. Oddly enough, fell right back to sleep, and I bet you didn't question a thing, did you, James? I'll just bet you did not question a thing. Well, I've got before me a little bit of information we're going to talk about. Like I said, people want to know. I've been asked this multiple times, and I'm going to be asked about it a little bit more probably because there's going to be 3 chances this year to catch either me or me and Joe giving a presentation on this subject. Your first will be at Withville, and like I said, we'll be showing some other stuff there, and it'll be a little different. But the next will be at another big event that hasn't been announced yet, but it will be soon, and I can talk about it then. But there are psychological indicators to this this contact type event, and some, as I've said, are the anxieties, unknown anxieties, panic attacks. Those are paramount to it. Those almost always happen, and these happen before anyone remembers anything. By the way, this isn't you wake up and you think, oh well, obviously it's aliens. No, you just have a weird feeling, anxiety, and fear. You may also have this weird separation anxiety where you just kind of isolate yourself away from others. You don't feel like you quite fit in. I know that sounds like just about everybody right now, but for real, this is a common thing. And maybe it feels like everybody because, around 3 million people may have possibly been abducted, according to that Roper's poll back in the 90s, but we'll talk about that later. There's an avoidance of sleep. Their regular sleep patterns. Gee, don't know nothing about that. I mean, I'm only up to like 3:30, 4 o'clock usually working on stuff. Or you're awakened early in the morning. That happens a lot. You might be a little paranoid. Just a little paranoid, thinking that, something's there. You don't really want to go to sleep because you feel that there's something there. There's something, but you're not quite sure what it is. You saw that if you read, Straber's Communion, whether you believe it or not. It happens to literally millions of people. So
Dude, I've had that problem since I was like 7 years old, maybe younger than
I will
that.
guarantee
It still
you.
plagues me to this day.
Yeah, dude, I will guarantee you more people
Yeah.
than not who are listening right now have had a lot of these. And by saying lot, I don't mean like one or two. I mean they've checked the blocks as it comes down. You may have bursts of anger, just incredible outbursts of anger. That's possible as well. Um, of course, you might have problems sustaining relationships because, well, let's be real. Unless you find somebody who's experiencing the same thing, then that's probably going to happen. And what's really weird about that is you may also have an event where something kind of leads you in the direction of your current relationship. So, of course, nosebleeds from an early age. That's a constant thing that we hear repeated. They wake up and they see a puddle of blood on up on the pillow. That's pretty common. Says that one of the things that I thought was interesting was that and a lot of this, by the way, you can find a lot of this information and a lot more in our buddy Michael Carter from Ancient Aliens in his book Initiation, the Spiritual Transformation of the Experiencer. It's a guide for contact experience, and it's one of the best books on the subject, I think, that's written in a actual psychological way of understanding it that I found. I mean, it's really just an amazing book. When I read it, I was just like cold chills, the whole thing. Even even knowing what I knew, there was stuff here that was just like, wow. That it's just so.
If you guys haven't watched the episodes with him, you need to go back and watch those episodes because
yeah.
they are very eye-opening. Very.
Michael's he's an amazing guy. Of course, these things can start innocently. They may start with just you watching a movie or reading a book, as in my case, and memories, that didn't make sense suddenly make sense, or you suddenly have a flash, and then the dreams start, and then all of it comes back to you. And this is very much akin to, like I said before, like PTSD, psychological issues. And we see that in modern psychology. Something causes this, is what I'm getting at. It's not something that you can make up. It's not something that, what's really interesting about the whole abduction phenomena, I'll say that because that's what a lot of people call it. It's not what it is, but that's what we'll call it for tonight. It's an experience. And most of the people, almost half of the people, by the way, who have these experiences, they may start out negative because they don't understand what's going on. It may scare them. They may think these are violations, etc., etc. But in the end, almost all of them, at least half or a little over half, come to terms and believe that it was overall a positive experience, that it led to some kind of change, that they believe that they matter, that there's a purpose, that there's a plan, and that it involves other experiencers. It's very possible. It's extremely possible. How many of you have had any of those things, plus finding weird marks on your body? That's another thing, right?
There's also the physical criteria that's kind of odd, like eye color matters. Sometimes people with certain eye colors are more likely to have this happen to them. Blood types, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's true. And there's evidence that shows that it follows a genetic line, Brandon, family. So if your mom was an experiencer, then chances are you are probably going to be an experiencer as well, and so forth and so on, your kids, etc. There's even evidence that shows that there's just so much. There's just so much. You can literally read into it, but there's really, really good evidence there that suggests that something is definitely going on. And I've said,
do you remember that show, Celebrity Ghost Stories?
Barely.
There was a comedian who was on there. His family's from Kentucky, and he was talking about a UFO experience that him and his cousins had when he was a little kid.
Yeah.
And years later, he was doing research for UFOs for a movie he was working on, and he found Whitley Strieber books and stuff like that and started reading it, in particular Communion, and opened his eyes, and he started questioning his family and found out that it had gone back generations upon generations.
Yeah, man.
It went
Yeah.
back to like his great great grandfather.
Hmm. I'll give you one better than that, Brandon. In a lot of these cases, the family, someone in the family was prior military, and usually it's going to be Air Force or it's going to be Navy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that's weird. It's not always, but if you look at the data, it is there. Those are an indicator. There's something there.
It was so common that he talked to his grandma, and she's like, "Oh, you mean the weird lights in the sky?"
Yeah, man.
Like she was just like,
Dude.
she's like, "Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about."
I remember growing up, and my grandparents would tell me stories about the time that it turned daylight outside, and I never ever understood what the heck they were talking about until years later. I'm like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the story goes basically it's one night in the middle of the night. Uh, they look out the window. There's a bright light outside. They go out there, and the whole sky is lit up. Is what my grandpa said. The whole sky was lit up, like everything, just like the sun was out. And you know, it wasn't that long ago we were doing was it Contact, one of the Contact episodes that we did, and Making Contact, and we were talking about who was it? One of the remote viewers. I can't think of his name right now. You know who I'm talking about, the main guy. And he's when he was out there walking on the beach, that's what he said. He says it was like the sun came out, but it was it was a saucer, of course, 300 foot above them.
Mm-hmm.
It was just it's things like that, but you don't think about that stuff. Of course, there are other weird things, by the way, that could be indicators that go a little less noticed. I mean, everyone's heard of the unexplained pregnancies and spontaneous absorptions. That's very real, by the way. That's 100% real. I know people.
Yeah, people pregnant one day, next day they're not, and there's no sign of the baby or anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And your hair and your nails, they will actually grow faster than normal, by the way. That's another thing. Didn't know that, did you?
Oh man, that's spooky because my hair and my nails go pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. There is a tendency to feel not so much more intelligent, I wouldn't say. I mean, some do feel more intelligent, but it's like you've tapped into something. And you may be able to process it, you may not be able to process it. There's also that artistic thing. I've said that before too. A lot of experiencers are very, very artistic, whether that be physical, like painting or drawing, music, etc. In my case, everything, which is insane. But
So far, you've pretty much described me, like almost everything.
yeah. I've described a lot of people at this point. Have you noticed how quiet the chat's got at this point? That's because a lot of people are doing.
Everybody's like, "Wait a second."
Yeah, and I mean, it is what it is. There's like I said, there's some really good resources out there, but there's also the thing about it doesn't have to be negative. And so many people want it to be negative. They think that these things are here invading, and maybe some are. I don't know, but I can tell you that not all of them are. I can promise you that not all of them are. But I think it's over 91% of experiencers, after they come to terms with their experience, do believe that they are part of a greater plan. And I think that sometimes that greater plan is just talking. I think that's the plan. I think the plan is to actually get people talking about their experiences openly, and to get them to come out and start that snowball domino effect where we just knock them over. And we are disclosure. That's what I'm saying. There is not going to be a need for the government to come out and say, hey, this is happening, when people actually start understanding what is happening to themselves.
There's also a snowball effect mentally when you first realize that you might be one of these people.
Yes.
First, you're going to have the denial stage. You're going to be like, nah, I can't be right. It's got to be something else.
Yes.
And then you'll start researching. And then you'll start accepting it a little bit more at a time. And then once you've accepted it enough, panic will set in. Alarm bells will start going off like crazy. And you're going to be terrified for a while. You're going to be terrified to go to sleep. You'll be terrified to be by yourself. But eventually you'll accept it as being part of you. And you'll start reaching out like we have, trying to help other people.
It's you know, and everyone's different. Like I said, I've told this before. My experience is different than yours, but there are
Yeah.
commonalities in all these experiences. You know,
Hmm.
um, everyone's got their part to play. Is kind of how I see it. I think that's what it comes down to. But
Yep.
you know, I'm not even talking about what these are, by the way. I'm not going into the, oh, it's extra dimensional, it's this or that. We're not even talking about that right now. We're just talking about an intelligence. There is evidence that shows that there's an intelligence and it is doing these things. Now, we'll talk about possibilities of why later and open the floor up for everybody to put down what they think. But right now, I just want to know how many of you guys, does any of this resonate with any of you? Any of you at all? Um, there are also, like I mentioned before, this open-mindedness that you get. There's this spirituality, draw to spirituality. I told you 50%. I didn't know this. Over 50% of experiencers are more likely to try to learn Reiki healing, metaphysics in general. They become aware of crystals, the old way. They have a deep desire to understand ancient cultures, ancient religions, ancient practices. Some call esoteric, others just call forgotten and lost. Um, and they turn out to be a lot better people. They become very generous, open-minded. Uh, they have a very different demeanor. And you can really recognize them pretty much right off the bat, to be honest with you. Now, what they remember is all different, of course, but it kind of comes down to this for those who actually have recall. And you can have recall multiple ways, right, Brandon?
Yep.
You know, the most common is, of course, hypnosis. Yeah. The
Sometimes it's
most
your own
common,
dreams.
yes. Sometimes it's dreams that are triggered by one of those events, like I had said earlier, where we have,
Hmm.
some kind of a triggering event that triggers it, and all of a sudden you start remembering. And then there's just memory. Sometimes you have total recall or a partial recall. I won't say total, but partial recall. Enough recall to basically get you to thinking and get you into researching. And today it's so much easier than it was back then, guys. I mean, back then it was buying books after books after books. I still like books, but now I can go and get on the internet and find so much stuff, and you can do the same thing. So now it's a whole lot easier than it was back then
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
to to research this stuff. And once you start researching, you're going to realize there's a lot, and I do mean a lot, of people who are experiencing this. Like I had said before, I think it was somewheres around, what was that? It was I can't remember if it was 3.5 million. It was a lot. It was the Roper's poll that was done back in the 90s. You see it quoted all the time. Um, and it was the one that was done by uh, or it was sponsored by Bud Hopkins and David Jacobs and another fellow. I can't remember his name right now. Warner or War. I can't remember his name. It's a W. I know that. I can't remember his name though. But either way, they polled people, a group of audience, with questions similar to what I did, but a lot more questions. And the indicators came back that these people could possibly be some form of contact, experiencer. So, you know, I think it's definitely a possibility. Let's go over and look at the comments here. Okay, so I'm going to catch up with Anita over here first. For me, there's a feeling of these events. They have a clarity to them emotionally and in memory. Yeah, very good, very good. Yes. Adam, Bigfoot finds and stuffs you. There you go. You may be eating Bigfoot, just not the way you thought you would. Yeah, well, there you go. It's possible. Could happen. Could happen. Duck Dodgers. And I have to go around saying things like, my woman pleasures me whenever I want, but my woman is a dress stuffed with straw. You guys are hilarious, and I love you all. I just want you to know that. I really do. I try to have these serious conversations, and you just, That's okay. We can do that. And look, Pat's just right in there with you guys. Let the Wookiee win. There you go. Okay. Oh. Anita, I think she's booked that weekend. No, that's too bad. Plus, not sure I'll drive. Yeah, it's probably a pretty good drive there. But do check. I mean, we'll be doing it again next year, and it's a really good place, and it is the absolute cheapest venue that we do, and we do that because of the area. We try to get this where everybody in the area can come out there and sell their goods, and it's a really cheap, affordable. I say cheap, but it's affordable table fees out there. Let's see, James, I have a lot of questions. Told it was a nightmare. Let's hear them, bud. That's what we're here for. It's a Q&A. I'm not, I'm reading off some stuff. You guys jump in whenever you're ready. Ike's here. I didn't see you come in, buddy. Okay, I'm looking, still looking.
It'd be great if somebody wanted to jump in the show and talk to us about it.
Yeah, like I said, anybody wants to come on the show and sit here and tell your story, we'll send you a link and jump right on. And again, you can do that with your own audio, or you can do it with video. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you don't have to use video. You can just use your audio.
You do not have to use video at all. It will just put up a little, image of whatever you use as your avatar. Anita, my sister and I experienced this stuff together. I have no interest in a Class 3 UFO encounter. My sister, on the other hand, wants to be abducted and taken off world. Wow. James, I have all those symptoms, but I'm a veteran. So, yeah, right. And again, as we've talked about that before too, there does seem to be some of this that seems to follow military families. And yes, you do need a copy of that book. Yes. Go ahead.
Do you think maybe they're curious about war and why we do war, and that's why they examine people?
Okay, so here's a fascinating thing. One of the other key indicators of these, Brandon, is an aversion. It's the apocalyptic visions, an aversion to war, and a deeper understanding of the cruelty of humanity, which makes you sound pompous, but you're not. You just see it differently. Like,
you've seen it firsthand.
I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. I've seen some things. I've had some experiences. Go look at some of my previous art. You'll see it. I mean, I started my art career with something called Shattered Worlds, and basically it's kind of like Fallout related stuff. But that was before I ever even saw Fallout. So there's that. And then there's other stuff. One day I'm actually going to write this stuff down. And I don't know. I'll make a book at some point. Yeah, I'll do it. Maybe. Someone might read it. I don't know.
Someday.
Ashley, don't forget trauma. Yep. For whatever reason, we have all experienced some kind of emotional or physical head trauma outside the paranormal. Boy, you got that right. You got that right. And it's interesting that abduction claims are down while speculation about lizard men is through the roof. They're not. That's the whole thing, Doc. They're not down. There are some researchers out there who have way more information and data on this right now. They don't call it abduction anymore. That's a trend that's kind of starting to go away. Also, you have to remember, guys, the leading guys who did the alien abduction work, the ones who started it all. John E. Mack, no longer with us. David Jacobs, he's somewhere, he's like, I don't know how old he is. He's like probably in his 80s now, but he doesn't do much of this anymore. They're still happening. I can tell you right now, it's still happening. Now, what it is, I don't know, but there's something happening. Anita, I am A negative with RH factor. My sister's O positive, RH factor. We were born with violet blue eyes and red hair. they went to sky blue. Then about age 7, they went hazel. As adults, we have green eyes that change colors according to our moods. Most our family is Navy, or company folks, and contractors. There you go.
Oh, we know the Navy's had their own
she said,
experiences.
Not my hair or nails, though. That's funny. What is it?
Manhattan Project.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm batting 1009. Yes, you're right. The Manhattan Project. How many of those people were actually contacted, buddy? I'd love to know that. But of course we can't now, can we? Because almost all of them are dead. And they were sworn to secrecy before they died. See how this works?
Yep.
See how this works? How much data did we lose? You got to think about that, man. Let's see. And what say? Oh, I'm not artistic. Oh, come on. You've got to be artistic. I'll bet you are. There's something. There's something. Yeah, she's creative. Exactly. And creative equals artistic in my book. Travis is here, speaking of some weird stuff. Welcome, old buddy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're talking about experiences tonight. You want to share one? You can hop on and I'll send you a link, and you can hop on and tell us one. I know where you're at, so I'm pretty sure that you have some stories to tell.
Even if it's not alien, like any sort of paranormal experience, whatever you guys have experienced, if you've seen a skinwalker or seen a Wendigo or Bigfoot, whatever you've seen.
That. It's their plan to make us think we're part of their plan. I like that.
Yep.
Hey, it could be fish belly. It absolutely 100% could be, because we don't know who the chess master is in this case, do we? The Ovnik must have sensed us speaking about him. Yep, that's what it was. Yes, Anita, thank you. Warner Herzog. There you go. When we saw the big UFO, my mom told us to stay quiet about it, that it was an experimental Air Force aircraft. Yeah.
I wonder if that's what a lot of people thought back in the 40s and 50s when they would see stuff like that.
I remember, Brandon, different time, right? People were very much more patriotic. Let's look at, let's look at the Greenbrier. Yeah, Greek Island. You know, these things were right there.
Yep.
And people, shut up, don't you say a word. And they didn't. They didn't say anything. And they didn't do it because they were threatened. They did it because they believed in patriotism. They believed that they were doing the right thing. And they believed that, you know, was it loose lips sink ships, right? It was that mentality.
Well, loose lips aid the commies.
That too, yeah. Well, they did. They believed the commies was around every corner, so, you know.
Yep.
My best friend had some interesting theories on why abductions occur. Too long to type out. We'll have to talk about it, for sure. You decide to write a book, let me know. I'll publish it or help with editing if you want. I've got so many people who want to do just what you just said. It's just a matter of me actually doing it. I started one multiple times. The time wasn't right. It'll happen. It'll happen.
Getting one started is difficult. Trust me, I've tried it before.
What in the world was that? And Travis said, no, he'll pass tonight, but thanks, basically, for you guys.
Oh, that was me getting rid of my USB camera. I was testing it on this laptop to see if it did the same thing, and it was. So it's definitely the camera.
Tell one about the shop in my place. Tell one about the shop ghost. Whoa.
Oh, yeah. You got that footage, don't you?
You know, I mean...
Where it's asking for the script.
You guys heard that. I mean, that's... there's some stuff at the deep end. And I'm not convinced 100%. Like I've said this multiple times. Everybody says, "Oh, it's haunted. There's ghosts." I don't know if it is. I don't know if there's a ghosts. I mean, they honestly fit the whole temporal anomaly model better than ghosts. I mean, you know, you want to talk about extra dimensionals and aliens. I think you got a better chance of putting that into the category at the deep end, honestly. That's the weird part. I hear you. I'm gradually writing mine as well as collecting stories for a book series. Yeah. But, yeah, guys, I mean, obviously something going on. But what you're going to hear us talking about a little bit there in the next podcast is the fact that, you know, these people are, you know, they're seeing things that shouldn't be there, first of all. Like orbs, we've talked about that multiple times. How many of you guys have seen orbs? You know, the strange lights. Wake up in the middle of the night and you see these weird shadows playing around. Well, you know, a lot of people say that that's just hypnagogic images, right? That's just you waking up, your mind's having these hallucinations. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, you know. But a lot of people have seen these. And then in conjunction with that, they'll see things, like I said, like something that shouldn't be there. Owls, clowns, shadows, whatever. You know, that's the crazy thing about it. But, you know, in Cleland's work, the owls weren't just owls. They were 4 foot tall owls, guys. Owls don't get 4 foot tall. You know how big that is, right? That's a big owl. They don't work that way. Joe's a master naturalist. He'll tell us. Owls don't get 4 foot tall, right, Joe? I'm sure you'll hear that. I'll summon him. But what's funny is he did over, you know, his research encompassed, I think, somewhere around 500 incidents of those owls, by the way. So there definitely does seem to be something to do with owls, deers. My theory has always been that it's just the black eyes. It's the big eyes. It's the emphasis on the eyes. Your brain is trying to, you know, put that into some kind of context where it can understand. But now I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they only see it for a split second, and that's what they instantly think it was an owl.
Well, the curious thing is, man, you know, the stories where he says that they're hearing the word owl over and over in their head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then the one lady who heard that, you know, the owl, owl, owl thing, and then watched the alien, watched a gray being she saw, a gray alien being, just turn into an owl and fly away.
Yeah, they're using subliminal messages.
Yeah, I mean, that's just...
I mean, we know that works.
It's mind-blowing.
Just look at, like, ads on TV, all that subliminal messages.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, and we've talked about this before. Can it be done? Yes, it can absolutely 100% be done. It can be done. It has been
Yeah, you know,
done.
they've been testing beaming commercials to play in your brain while you sleep.
That's sick, man.
Like
That's
off Futurama, but real.
That's sick. And you know where that data came from? That data is coming straight from the 1999 or whatever it was, the studies that Persinger did. You remember Persinger? He created the God helmet. Michael Persinger. You don't know who he is? Look him up. He created basically a way to induce these transformative, metaphysical, euphoric events where people see things like, you know, like we talked, Jesus, you know, Virgin Mary, the sky spirits, God, what they interpret as God. Yep. But the funny thing is, it's always what their culture interprets as such. That's the funny part. So, and then, you know, of course, alien abduction type experiences.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
The question is, well, how is he doing it? He's doing it with high-powered magnets. He's doing it with high-powered electromagnetic pulses to the brain. That's how he's doing it. And if you subject your brain to enough of that, there's a possibility that you're going to be able to literally adjust, tune, etc. And especially if we're dealing with something that's, you know, ages ahead of us. At this point, we can just tickle it. But imagine what we can do in, say, 500 years of studying such things.
Do you think maybe that's what people are actually seeing when they claim they see, like, pterodactyls in the sky and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. I think
like really out of place things like that.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Well, that one, a case in point, you know, the video that was sent to us of the little girl who saw the giant bird thing that landed in their yard, and she runs and she's screaming to her mom. Oh, that girl was scared to death, dude. She was terrified. She saw what she saw. But did
I bring this up in the podcast, but I'm gonna bring it up again because I think it's a good point.
It's fine.
People I've been saying for a long time that what people saw was actually an owl and not Mothman. But a 6 foot tall owl with a huge wingspan like that, does that not ring any bells for people?
Yeah,
Does that not sound familiar?
I mean, look at Owlman. We talked about that too.
Oh, that
right?
too, if that was real.
Well, I mean, okay. So here's the thing. It could have been just as real as, say, the not deer.
Yeah, true.
Because that has a relation to missing Tom and teleportation and all kinds of crazy stuff as well. So, again, whenever I hear deer, I hear owl, I hear, strange shadow beings, my mind automatically goes to other questions. And I posted some of those questions up over there for the group to answer some of those questions. And then when I see enough of those questions getting answered, I have to really consider the possibility that something's going on. And James Bogg said, I saw an owl in 77. The whole family saw it. A giant owl, he says. How big was the owl, James? Do you recall?
Yeah, how good of a look did you guys get? Was there a second and gone, or what was this whole story behind it, and where was it exactly?
Then Adam, James, you wouldn't be the first family sighting of an alien/owl sighting. No, you wouldn't. Absolutely not. It's common. That's the whole point. And Sky Daddy Matthew McConaughey's helmet. Just because you said the word, I have to do it. Okay. Now we can get back to serious stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's common. That's the whole point. I know that's what you wanted, Adam. I know.
Adam, I know you've had a lot of experiences, so go ahead and dump one of them on us at least. No, not the time you met Danzig and he hit on your girlfriend. Not that story.
Anita said Native American owl people. Yeah, we actually touched on that in the podcast as well, Anita. Some native portrayals of the owl, of course, were omens and harbingers of death. A lot of them were actually.
Yeah, I remember one that actually was like an owl/human combination. I can't remember what tribe it was.
It was probably something that the Shawnee carved in a rock to scare them because that was part of their psychological warfare.
I was thinking like southwestern.
They didn't
something down there.
So they were.
Oh, James told the story.
Where's it at?
The last
James.
message.
I see it. James, something was stealing chickens. We had a coop made from 2 twin box springs laid side by side with tops meeting like a pup tent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know how that works. I've seen that before, actually.
Yeah.
That is Appalachian engineering at its finest. Yes.
Not as fancy as my chicken coop I built.
That is engineering at its finest, my friend. I'm going to go over here and check our poll, Brandon, and see if you can see anything.
Okay.
I'm afraid to leave here. We got a lot of people asking questions now. Brandon's right. I think it's Great Lakes region. Humanoid owls, adult human size. Yeah, very big.
Well, so far the leading one is at 13% observed orbs or strange lights and or near a house.
Okay.
Forgot to vote on this. Give me a sec.
Okay, go ahead. You're good. Go right on. I'm getting messages over here too, guys. You can literally
There.
If you don't want to share stuff, publicly, you can reach out. Obviously, as others are doing right now, and I will get to you. I promise I will get to you. There is a contact form over here on wildandweirdwb.com. All you got to do is go over there and hit the report a sightings tab. It's up in the right-hand corner, I believe, is where it's at. There's sightings, and then you'll go down to, it pulls down. It's a drop-down menu. and then you can report a sighting. Us, though, look at some of the ones we've published over there. We don't put names on them. We might put your story up there. We will not put your name on it, and we'll only do that if you let us. If you say, hey, I don't want that told, it's like, okay, cool. So we'll put it in our database, and that's where it'll stay. But the whole idea is to get these out there for people to see. They don't even know who you are, but the stories, they matter. They absolutely matter. Any time that you can alleviate someone's anxiety or, sense of fear or, not knowing what's going on with them, it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing.
Like Adam wants to join the show.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and put an invite link here. Copy that. And I will send it over in Messenger to you, buddy. That way I don't accidentally send it to the whole group and we just have chaos. I could see me doing that. I could totally see me doing that.
It's just going to be a house party.
It's a house party. Everybody jump in. It's conga time. Okay. Oh, all right. Adam Good, you have the link.
Yeah, it's very hard for him to keep it PG-13.
Try your best. Try your best.
Oh man, Fishbelly's comment.
Okay, I have got these guys under control, I think. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Fishbelly. I remember hearing them talk while I was sleeping. I distinctly remember going above the house and falling through the roof and floors back into bed. There you go. That's the typical. Yep, that is very typical, my friend. Out-of-body type experiences, these place-flying dreams, the sense that you're floating, people floating out windows even, or not quite walking, but having this feeling that you can not kind of glide. That's another thing that I've heard with people before as well. And
have you ever seen that movie Get Out?
No.
So there's a scene where the main character gets put under hypnosis and he's falling out of consciousness into like a black void and he's just like floating there.
Yeah.
That's really what it feels like. Like
Yeah,
you can see through your eyes, but you don't have control over it.
Yeah, it kind of is. And Doc brought up a good point. We all do agree that moving a person from one place to another against their will is considered breaking the law. Yes, it is by human standards. That's absolutely 100%. But we're also dealing possibly with something that is far beyond human at this point. And we don't know how they fit in to what we actually are. I mean,
we don't even know if they have morals. I mean,
well, we don't know. Here's the bad thing. Here's the crazy part. I've been there. I know exactly what Duck's saying. I've wrestled with this multiple times. And I will say this. This is me personally, Duck. I'll say this. I think that why I personally don't call it abduction is because I was stupid. I opened that door. And other people may do the same thing. Unwittingly or unknowingly, I don't know.
Is that back when you were doing all those audio experimentations?
Yeah, I was actually doing out-of-body experience research. I had created a couple of procedures that, I didn't create them. I was emulating the ones that Monroe had done. I had made them my own way, of course, modified them. And it kind of went from there to having out-of-body experiences to just meaningless out-of-body, just normal, just everyday out-of-body experience to all of a sudden now you start seeing things, you start, there's something there. It's like it escalated. That's what I'm trying to get at. There's always this escalation factor. And then I think when it actually happened, it was like, well, you're here, you're ready. Well, no,
Wanted us, buddy. Here we are.
No, I'm not. And most people aren't. And it takes years for you to realize, that part. There's an arrogance that I hear with people who say, oh, just, we're all ready. You really aren't. You really aren't ready. Trust me. No. It doesn't work the way you think it does. It's not. It's peaceful, yes, but it's also it's not on our current level. And dealing with something that could be literally our predecessors. Where do we fall into that?
Yep.
That's the crazy part. When you really consider this, and you consider the ancient astronaut theory, and you have to. You're a fool not to, in my opinion. You call them what you want. It's labels. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you call them. But they've been here. They've been here for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. That's why I don't buy into this whole, it's alien invasion, they're going to take over. If they wanted to, they could have. I mean, they could have taken over
in the snap of a finger.
They may have. That may be where we came from.
Yeah.
That may be part of it. That could be the occupation, so to speak. Now it's just a reintegration, possibly.
Yep.
I don't know. It's all speculation. I mean, we can speculate forever, of course.
Yeah, we don't really have any concrete answers for anything in paranormal. Nothing.
No.
Anybody who says they're an expert is full of crap.
Oh, yeah. And Fish that said beavers, I'm sure, would prosecute within the full own. Yeah, if they had the ability, yeah, maybe.
I will sue you.
Yeah, right. I've been to the Monroe Institute. I enjoy the whole hemisync thing. Thinking of getting some folks together to do a weekend up there sometimes. Oh my God. That's what it is, Anita. That's what I was working with. And I didn't know it at the time because this was back in mid-90s. And I was just using basically pre-recorded messages while playing certain tone generator, and using a little galvanic skin response biofeedback generator from Radio Shack, and worked like a charm. It worked absolutely like a charm, just to let you know. But I had no idea that's what I was doing until later on, when they released the Gateway Project papers, and Stargate actually came out.
Is there like a layman term for that device, or did you just walk into Radio Shack and ask for that?
No, it's just a little lie detector.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Realistic, the company that used to make the Radio Shack stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a blue. The one I had was blue, and it had little leads on it. The leads went on your fingers. And all it was a those little touch sensors, just galvanic skin response kind of thing. And when you dial it in, it was a high pitched buzz, and the more relaxed you got, the buzz turned into a few clicks. Well, I got to eventually where I could just turn that thing off by just sitting there and chilling out and relaxing. And that's what it takes as part of the experience, to lower yourself into the level to where you can have these out-of-body experiences or remote viewing experiences. Same thing. It's literally the same thing. Let's see. And James brought up a good point. Government's basic responsibility is the safety and welfare of its citizens. Government has treacherously failed. And I think that you, James Boggs, just figured out why we can't say they're aliens. Right there. That's why. Because it's much easier for the system that's supposed to defend everything to say, this is all not real. We can't defend you against your imagination. It's a psychological issue. And rather than say, well, they're here, they're taking people, there's nothing we can do about it. We don't know what they're doing. We have no clue who they are, what they are.
It's somebody else's problem.
It's somebody else's problem. It's a SCP. Yeah, exactly. What you just said, Brandon. You nailed it, my friend. You nailed it. But here's the thing. You're right. I cannot go to another country and break their laws. The aliens are obliged to do the same thing when they're here. Are they, though? That's the whole thing. Where do we fit in? I think that's the issue that we're having here. Honestly, don't know. I mean, we're talking about something that's so advanced of us. Do they have morals? Like you said, Brandon. I think they do. I think they do have a moral, but I don't know what that is. And Adam Good has just joined us, and we're going to pull him into the stream.
Oh.
Coming
Hey, before we pull him in,
yeah.
Robin Sims just mentioned a sighting that they had recently.
Oh, wait. We have to get that. Last Friday, daughter and I saw a UFO around 7 p.m. 3 miles north of Milton. Robin, did you report that on our site, on the sightings section? We need to definitely get a record of that, if not, and put that on the map.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna put
that area in particular has had quite a bit of sightings lately.
Yeah, it has. So there's something going on there.
Uh-huh.
I'll put this up again for you if you didn't see it. Go over there and click on the reported sightings tab and fill in the box. I made it really easy for you. It's really, really easy. All right, I'm going to pull in Adam now, everybody. So here comes Adam. Boy, look at there. Adam Good, everybody. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Haven't seen you in a while, Brandon.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
No, so yeah. You want stories?
Yeah, go ahead.
By all means, go ahead. Share your stories. Everybody keep commenting as you will. I will get your comments. We will post them up. We will talk about them. But right now, let's welcome Adam Good on with an account.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have family in the military, Air Force, and such like that. Just thought I'd mention that one real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Even had an uncle work on the Star Wars project.
Oh.
So.
Wow, SDI.
He was a private citizen, but
mm-hmm.
So it goes. I'm going to go with the earliest memory I have, period. I mean, it's the earliest memory I have in my life, and I've told this one to a few people, and I don't know, I guess it's time to start talking about it, but I must have been 2 or 3, because I couldn't quite see over the top of the bed, like if you're standing beside of it.
Mm-hmm.
My parents' bed, but I was in another room watching TV, and my parents were off doing whatever. It was the next room over, reading or napping or whatever. Trying to keep it PG-13, so no, I'm joking.
I know.
But I was watching TV and I got this sudden impression they're here. And I got this idea of, it's like hide and seek time.
Okay.
So I went into my parents' room, which was next door. And I mean, I remember vividly having to grab onto the comforter, put my foot up, pull yourself up, like climbing over a wall and getting on top of the bed, and my parents were there, and I tried shaking them awake, and they wouldn't rouse. And so I took the comforter, wrapped myself up in it, and just kind of hid. And next thing I knew, the comforter was being pulled from my face, and right there in front of my face was a gray kind of shining light, and I heard in my head, "Time to play."
Wow.
Oh.
And that was it.
That's all you remember?
Yeah, from that time.
So did you have spontaneous recall on that? Did something trigger that later on? Or?
No, I just remembered it all my life.
I
mean, I remember being in kindergarten thinking about that and all that. I mean, it's just been there. And most of what I've gone through, let it be extraterrestrial or ghost or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I think whenever you're open to this, much like myself, that it opens it all because
Yep.
it's all connected somehow.
Mhm.
And, you know, I mean, it continues to this day. I mean, there's an experience just a few weeks ago that went on. I'm still kind of trying to document that one, so I'm saving that one. But,
Yeah, yeah. Well,
um,
you know, I think that that's a key point, Adam, is that these things they do happen, and I think that a lot of people just don't even recognize it anymore. I mean, I honestly think that a lot of it's just like, oh well, you know, let's think about this for just 1 second. If you know something happens, it's kind of out of the ordinary. Um, how many people are you actually going to tell? You
I
know,
mean, that's the thing. I mean, like, I remember this all that time.
right?
And any time I tried to tell it whenever I was young, it was
Yep.
WTF, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, what's wrong with you? Are you
Except for
crazy?
my parents, they were fine with it.
Same. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I think that's just the thing about it. I think that that's the point of the experience is,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always said this. I was like, you know, I think that's the point. The point is to cause that domino effect. The point is, we used to say back when I was playing in the band, we had that was part of it too. I think because you know we're out there trying to change the world with music. But we had a lot of music that had a lot of alien themes to it. In fact, you know, the whole thing was called Majestic X. I came up with the name of the band after I read Majestic. And
Lily Streeter's
Well,
Majestic.
yep.
Nice.
And do you remember Majestic? You remember how I had the lists in
Mhm.
there, the 1 through 12? We were Majestic X, number 10. Um, anyway, the funny thing is, you know, we were, you know, going out there and we were trying to change the world in that way. And I didn't even really recognize that. I thought, we're playing games, you know, we're out here. This is just us playing, we're goofing off, you know. It's the '90s, everybody X Files. No, we weren't. We
Well, you know
absolutely.
how that story came about, don't you?
Which one?
Majestic.
I remember the way that he said it came about. Yeah,
Like where he just took first hand
Yeah.
accounts that were.
Yeah. It may or may not be true.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But from high ranking
Yeah.
officials and family members, in fact,
Yeah.
a couple of them.
Yeah. He took a lot of flack for that book too.
Oh, yeah.
Took a lot of flack for that book.
oh yeah, I remember that.
There's a lot in there though that really makes you, yeah. Because what was funny is over the years we've seen a lot of that stuff kind of play out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the weird part.
So,
It's like, wow, if he just wrote that, if that was just, you know, somebody making up a fictitious account, he's a mind reader or, you know, time traveler. It's one of the two.
You know what's funny is like occasionally you'll see a documentary on TV pop up about that book, and it'll flip flop between this actually happened or this is not real.
Yeah.
There's never like any in between.
No, no, there isn't. But, you know, I'm just thinking that, you know, there's so many of those little coincidences like that. And we used to say, well, imagine if we go out there at some point and we do something or we say a word or something and everybody says the exact same word and then it triggers, you know, and everybody wakes up. And I, honest to goodness, think that that's kind of what's happening. I think that it's not word, it's words. It's our accounts, it's our experiences, it's the commonality of these crazy things. Well, why in the world did you show yourself in the bedroom as a you know, as a 4-foot owl? Well, would you rather me show myself as myself? That's something that you can't really perceive? Or would you rather me, you know, show you something that is so highly unusual that no one else could have possibly guessed this in a million years?
You think there's a possibility too that some of them don't have a physical form, and that's why they choose random things like that?
Oh yeah, I do think that.
It's tailored to each and every individual.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because once you get through that stage and you can actually see them, you don't see the owls anymore. You don't see the, you know, the goblins. You know, you don't see the clowns and the deer. You see them for what they are.
Oh god, the clowns! Oh, I forgot about that.
I said
That's
the other
nightmare
night-
fuel.
I know. I was telling my wife the other night, like, man, if they ever show up as clowns, that's an intergalactic war. I'm grabbing the baseball.
Killer
bat.
clowns from outer space.
You know, I have a thing about clowns. I'm not.
Take this, Barnum Bailey.
Yeah, it's no. So don't show up as clowns, guys. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Let's go reject the.
What if it shows up as
messages.
the old Burger King mascot?
Well, you better have some burgers. That's all I'm going to say about that. You better have some burgers.
You remember the robot Burger King with the mechanical hand that he showed the guy's wife? Oh, that was really creepy.
No. Robin Sims, you're here. Welcome. Let's see. We've got. Oh man.
Adam, didn't you say that you had a possible Yowie sighting when you lived in Australia too?
Yeah, it was real brief, and it had to deal with kangaroos, running away from a certain spot, which was a synchronicity because I was listening to a podcast yesterday, about yowies in Australia and kangaroos running from them. And, I could just kind of was like, but walking in the bush, and I mean, it was a rainforest at one time, but it's more like a regular forest now, but it's still a rainforest. But, just saw quite a few kangaroos just bouncing away from a trail. And there was something, much like a man wearing something kind of furry, just kind of off in the distance, kind of coming up from behind them. And it was almost kind of like a high moment, then turn around and went back. He didn't try to show me how buff he was or anything that some yowies tend to do, apparently. But
oh wow.
Yeah, that's a primate dominance thing. They'll flex their muscles at their opponents and make themselves look big, stretch out and stuff like that.
They'll do that for the woman, especially. Kind of showing off.
Bigfoot, Littlefoot's here. Hey guys, there you go. Just wanted to say hey. Continue, please.
The thing about Yowie too is it's just recently become a more okay thing to talk about in Australia. Before, you almost never heard any stories about it.
There's
up until the last 10
said,
years.
Yeah, he said there's this one author that said, if I put down everything that I'm getting, it'd be 18 volumes right now. Just to put out.
I remember one of the four horsemen of Bigfoot attempted to research Australia, and he couldn't get anybody to really talk to him back then, back in the 60s and 70s. Can't remember what. Maybe it was Green. Tried that. I can't remember.
May have had to.
Dewey, he's referencing the Eisenhower signing agreement. You remember this, Adam? Didn't Eisenhower's agreement with the aliens allow a certain percentage of abduction and experiments on the populace? That is one of the, one of the thoughts. It's one of the theories.
No. One thing I also heard is that he said no, and they just said,
"Okay,
what are you going to do about it?"
What are you going to do about it? Yeah. I mean, would they need it? Okay, let's for real. You're here. Would you think that a higher intelligence, possibly a higher intelligence that actually had a hand in creating us, would need some kind of permission from us to do something? Especially if it was for our betterment as a species.
Not unless there was an agreement for resources or something.
Well, that'd be different.
I mean, even then, would you need?
But that would be different, right? I mean,
one thing
maybe they agree with the tribal people's agreements, so they don't, look bad or whatnot.
Well, there's another interesting thing. Who says that the agreement was signed in our lifetime? It could have been signed 100,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the thing that people don't get. I mean,
Yeah, we signed this with a king of Sumer. Yeah,
dude,
it's still good.
We have a ton
Gilgamesh
of
signed this one.
no, but we have a ton of history that's gone that we're
Yeah,
not
it's
going to
just
get
wiped
back.
out.
That's
Mhm.
wiped out. Who knows what they did back then? You know, we just, you know, we're stuck where we're at right now.
Well, one thing
I
I'd
think
heard,
some of the Hindu stuff talked about some sort of agreement
Really?
after the Vimana Wars. Yeah, I can't
Oh,
remember.
that's right. Yeah, the
I
agreement
can't remember what it was.
that basically stated they weren't going to do this again or something. If
Yeah,
that's the
something
one
like
I
that.
remember. Yeah,
you always say that you're never going to do it again, but
and then you do it again,
yeah.
and then you get smacked back down to square one and start all over, and then you do it.
Yeah.
One thing that I was told about the agreements with like the powers that be now is that everyone that they went to, like Russia, America, and everyone said, "Well, we want you to give us something," and they're like, "That's not how it goes." So we're going to go to the populace, and that's what they've done.
That's what I think too. Yeah,
You know, that's what I've been told.
yeah, I think that's exactly what's happened. We've talked about that multiple times. It's like, I think that is exactly what we are seeing today.
Like in Colombia, when we wanted the bananas, they wouldn't give us bananas, so the CIA staged a government coup and put in a puppet, a puppet dictator that would let them get bananas.
Banana Republic clothing stores.
Mm-hmm. That was how Chiquita bananas became a thing, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
True, look it up.
This is a good point. You know, Bigfoot, Littlefoot. I believe that we're all in the same boat. I have so much stuff happen. I quit reporting UFO sightings, close ones. Yeah, I mean it becomes pretty common, and we're kind of seeing that, brother. I mean, the more we get out there in the field, you know, I go ahead and show. You want me to go ahead and show the trailer at this point? We have
Go ahead.
Full house. I'm gonna go ahead and show the trailer.
Take me out with you sometime.
Yeah. You need to come out with us the next time. Trust me.
Adam's a magnet. You need him.
Let's see. I think. Is this the bumper? I think this is it. Let's see if this is it.
Just in case.
Just take it in case? All right.
Yeah.
I'm not really actively looking, but if it's there, you know.
Yeah, if something pops up.
Right. There's something right here, guys.
Did you see that? Well, in the thermal, it wasn't a flash.
We're experiencing some equipment drainage.
Yeah. And that's all you're going to get until it drops. But I think you got enough of it to understand what is happening out there. Joe saw a flash. And I saw what I saw. I didn't see a flash. I had the thermal pointed at the sky at the time, and you saw what came through the thermal. Does that look familiar?
Looks really.
It could have been the flash from bacon grease where he's been cooking bacon with no pants on.
It could have been, man. It could have been. But, and again, what was really great about this one, and I love it, it's like, Adam, we talk about this synchronicity, this crazy stuff, right? Get this one. On this event, there's 3 people with us, including the guy I'm interviewing, Glenn Atkins. He has his daughter. He has a foreign exchange student. He has a friend of theirs. The friend of theirs is a 9th grade science teacher who also heads up one of their astronomy groups. He looks at me and says, "What is that?" I said, "I don't know. We've seen him multiple times now since last October. We started looking at the sky. I mean, I've seen him in every state now." And he said, "Well, I know what's up there. That's not supposed to be up there." Okay, fair enough. So we've managed to put that question out there to even more people again. And I know that we get the people who are like, "Oh, it's a bird, it's a bird, it's a bird." Well, I got luck for you. I managed to catch a bat finally, because Ben Hansen suggested it was a bat that we had caught before. No way on earth are they bats. The signature is completely different. But anyway, I'm going to bring all that out to you later on when we put it all together and do it into the presentation. So you definitely want to catch one of our presentations this year.
I can tell you it wasn't a bat because their mom and dad was still alive.
Oh, that's messed up. Too soon. Too soon.
Batman's about to turn 100.
What?
Like in less than a decade, Batman will be 100 years old.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 1930 35 or 1933, something like that. He came out.
In
Wow.
fact, speaking of Batman, the first name of Melbourne, Australia was Batmanville.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty awesome. You know, there was a Batman cryptid at one point.
Mm-hmm.
What we got?
Ask
Used to
Watch.
scare my best
It
friend
was some
with
guy's
a
surname.
creepy
Batman.
clown painting. Don't you ever do that, Anita.
I remember when I worked for Frontier, some guy called in one day. His last name was Batman, and I just
Batman?
could not. It took everything I could to not say something.
He'd probably heard it a million times before, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, man, I'm trying to keep up with everybody here.
I swear I got Werner Herzog one night.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. You guys, I'm trying to keep up with you. You're posting tons of stuff. Adam, I mean, obviously you've seen stuff. You've experienced stuff. How many of those on the checklist resonate with you?
100%.
Yeah, pretty much. I agree. I look at those lists and I'm like, I can't find any of these that does not fit the bill.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when we look at things like that, we have to really look, because people think, oh, you're nuts. Well, you don't think that's the first thing we think? You don't think that that's the first thing that we contemplate? I mean, you're losing it. You've seen what? No, you're losing it. You're having dreams of what? You're losing it. Obviously, it's too much stress. No, it's not that easy. Because here I have someone who's experiencing the exact same thing. I don't know these people. Yet here they are. They're experiencing the exact same thing. It's not just one person. It's not just two people. Millions. Possibly millions. That is...
well into the hundreds of millions.
Dude, it's absolutely amazing. And we have to think about that, bud, because that was back in like 90, I can't remember the exact date, 94 or 93 or 94 for that Roper poll that everybody quotes. That's how long ago that was.
92 or 93, I think.
Is that what it, 92 or 93? Okay, so that's how long ago that was, though, is what I'm getting at. We haven't had one since.
No, there's no way that they could duplicate that.
No, that was...
like by now.
Yeah.
And, like the Rupert Gallup poll, they aren't doing those type of tests anymore.
Right. Well, I mean, imagine.
Oh, it would be stupendous.
It would be absolutely amazing. I mean, the amount of people who have probably been experienced at this point.
Yeah. And you're talking about family bloodlines. My parents were necking in the back of my dad. Well, it wasn't the back, because it was only a 2-seater, but they were necking in my dad's car and saw a UFO.
Oh, Lord.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. They saw it. They watched it for a while. And
well, Adam's here, so.
Well.
I wasn't supposed to be here. My mom was Dean Barrett.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh.
Everything seems to fit into these plans. And I know you sound like, again, we sound crazy when we say things like that. You start sounding like, oh, you got some cult. No, it's not a cult. It's just an awakening of people who have these experiences that don't make sense any other way. Yeah. So, what's one of the most interesting things, Adam, and you found this out, I'm sure, is that, everybody's like, oh, they're nuts, right? They're psychological issues. Almost everybody who's had these experiences, there's not one single thing that is off with them in a psychological, manner.
Not to make them hallucinate.
No, in fact, a lot of them are very high. They function higher than most people. They have a different sense of being. They may have these PTSD type experiences, yes, but aside from that, they're normal. They're above normal.
I had PTSD from my ex-wife, but not from the visitors.
I think we've all been there.
But yeah, I mean, In fact, speaking back to my mom being barren, whenever she heard that she was at the doctor, and the doctor was saying, "Look, there's no way you can get pregnant. I know you keep trying and everything, but it's time to give it up. Your uterus is too scarred."
Was this back in the 70s?
No, I mean I was born in '81, so '80s. Yeah, early '80s, late
When was their UFO encounter? Do they remember?
like late '60s.
Did they see multicolor lights? It wasn't white.
Don't know.
They didn't say.
But whenever my mom was talking to the doctor and he was saying all that, she heard a voice in her head, which she's heard all through her life, and I've heard all my life too, say, "You're pregnant right now," and she was.
Wow.
That same voice has saved her life and has saved my life before too.
I've had some moments of, say, like I'm about to go to work, and like I just have this feeling that something's going to happen, and it'll make my anxiety go up, and I start dragging my feet, and then I'll be heading to work, and there's a horrible car wreck somewhere. That's happened to me numerous times.
Oh yeah. No, I kind of followed the same thing with well, I was a delivery driver there for a few years as well. Sometimes I would take a back street, and on the way back, something would have happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a part of it as well. The intuition speeds up; it gets heightened much more. And Dewey had said they're having a conversation over there about Eisenhower still. Eisenhower did have a strong belief in life on other planets, so who better to meet with those from other planets or maybe even another solar system? Yeah, it's true, We all need to sit in the woods in the dark, eat some mushrooms, and watch geometric liquid fabric teach us a few things.
Squeegee your third eye.
Oh my gosh. There you go. There you go, Bigfoot, Littlefoot. There's a plan.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Took a heroic notes.
We've been talking about aliens, but I want some good Bigfoot stories. I want to hear some Bigfoot stories from you people. Or even Puppy Dude. Like something tall and hairy. I want a cryptic story about it. And not Glenn Danzig.
James, good quote to remember. Man has always known about these forces and how to deal with it. It's called religion. From John Keel, Operation Trojan Horse.
Yep.
That's a good quote, man. That's a good quote.
I know I keep on egging you to keep saying it, Ron, but I'll just go ahead and say it. Dog man.
Oh, man. I was in a place where he's been sighted. Where we were, there in Salt Fork, there's been sightings there.
That place is very active with those things for some reason.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
There's almost as many reports of that as Bigfoot. A lot of people don't know that.
Well, dogs like salt.
There you go.
Yeah.
And licking's right in the name.
Also a massive cave system in that area they could hide in.
The whole state's full of caves.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot in that area.
If you look at the maps of cave systems that are accessible and missing people, and if you throw on top of that the UFO abduction, that there are a lot of...
It overlaps a lot. Yeah.
Well, again, are we talking about screen images? This has to come up because we have to say that. Like, are these things just, pulling out something out of our head to make us, we caught them off guard. It's like, oh crap. First thing they think of,
But what's the Los Angeles reporter? What's his name?
Knapp.
Yeah, Knapp. George Knapp. In his latest skinwalkers at the Pentagon, there's a specific page that talks about remote viewer.
Yep.
Looked in on Skinwalker, not knowing it was Skinwalker, but what was really interesting is the fact that he said that there's a small man, kind of silvery gray, 3 foot tall, that is trying to communicate with the people, and the way he communicates is from behind them, above their head. So if you're seeing something in front of you, what if really you should be looking behind yourself and up?
Think about that the next time you're in the woods, people.
I strap that GoPro to the back of your head.
I think I'm
Get the
gonna.
GoPro with the 360. Yeah.
We got a 360 now. That's why we have a 360.
The Owl Pro.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the new toy. One of our new toys is 360. We were running 360 that night. We just haven't processed the data
really?
yet. Yes, we haven't processed the data yet because I brought it home to download it, and Joe actually has to do that. So I've got to get it back to him, get him the chip so he can.
Well, tell him to
download
slap his pants on and finish that bacon.
I know, right? But yeah, we've got to
Tell him
check the
not to put out the
360.
grease fire with water. Tell him to put it out with flour or baking.
I want to check the 360 because
Yeah.
when we saw that flash, it should have been running when we saw that flash.
I bet you something will be there.
We're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
Bigfoot, Littlefoot. I have an app that shows where the Marathon Pipeline is located. Magically, Bigfoot in eastern Kentucky overlap. Yep, they have been seen near pipelines, buddy.
Yeah, those right-of-ways.
Yep. Pipelines, right-of-ways. It's very common, actually.
Yeah, they'll. If you read Russ's first book, he talks about that because they like to ambush deer in those clearings. They'll sit in the covering right beside the clearings, and they'll ambush them because it's a big, wide open area. They can see everything around for miles, possibly, depending on where they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it's an actual Bigfoot.
Perfect. Yeah.
If it's not, there's a lot of energy there. I know. I was there. The amount of energy in those areas is insane. Like, it's really insane. It was.
Yeah, there actually is something to living under power lines. Like, that's not just a joke. Like,
No question.
it really can screw with your head.
No question, man. No question. We were there for no more than, we were there for a bit, but I was under the power line for no more than probably 5-7 minutes because I couldn't take it anymore. I started hearing you could hear the vibration in your head, and it was hurting. Like, I started to feel like this pain. I was like, yeah, this ain't good. This is EM radiation. I mean, I'm looking at it on my EMF meter. I know it's EM radiation. It's pegged. I'm like, I'm getting away from this. So I walked away from it. And
Well, we all know that when Edison was pioneering all that he lied about how dangerous it really was so he could sell it to the public.
well, you know.
Who knows what all is actually going on with those power lines they don't tell us about.
I know what was going on with that one. It was crazy.
He didn't like making anything that you couldn't make a dime off of.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
He invested so much money into DC that he didn't want to, throw it all away.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Bigfoot, Littlefoot. So it was in my backyard about 500 feet away, guys.
Oh, gosh.
Nice.
Yes.
Give us some details, like what it looked like. Did you sense anything?
Yeah.
Or you can come on the show and tell us. We'll kick Adam off and bring you on.
Oh, goodness.
I feel
Yeah.
like a used condom.
Weirdness seems to love gas transmission lines. Not just gas transmission lines, right-of-ways. Right-of-ways in general. Electric,
Mhm.
gas. Yeah.
Even like the logging right-of-ways that they make, the logging roads, they love those too.
Well, look at some of the first sightings. I mean,
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
look at
Willow
the
Creek.
yeah, Willow
Mhm.
Creek. Yeah.
Washington and all their logging.
Yep. Exactly. Let's see. I'm
You
gonna
know,
call-
Cliff sells replicas of that first print. He somehow got a copy of it.
Which one?
The one from Willow Creek back in the 50s.
Really?
Hmm. At least I think it's him that has it.
It probably is. He has everything. Man's got he's got the biggest collection of.
Well, next to Meldrum, the biggest.
Right? Yeah. Well, yeah. Meldrum doesn't count. He's special. See, I didn't get to. Let's see. Meldrum wasn't there this year. He was. Where was he at? He was down with Giorgio, wasn't he? In Tennessee.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What, Smoky Mountain?
I think that's where they were. Yeah, that's where they were.
Yeah, I still can't beat that line for Mountain Monsters, I bet.
Oh my goodness.
That was ridiculous.
That was crazy looking, is what that was.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. We got a couple of years ago, a couple of kids found a pair of fairly new boots in the woods. Looking further, they found a femur bone. Ouch.
Ooh.
Ouch. Where's that at, Dewey? Down there in the land of you know who?
Look at the last comment he made.
Of course. In a cave nearby, they found the baby mutilated, decapitated man against the cave wall. Investigators ruled it suicide. Yeah.
What?
Come on, man.
I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna cut my own head off.
It's a clear case of suicide. I mean, if I've never heard one, that's a clear case of suicide right there.
Oh god.
I covered
Robin
myself
Sims.
in bacon grease. And
Right.
not a
I
couple
chopped myself up.
macarons.
Yeah, I'm gonna chop myself up too. I'm at it.
Yeah, he got Epstein.
What in the world? We have both power lines and gas transmission lines going right through our area. 92 acres in Cabell County.
My gosh.
Yep. I live off the grid, can't come on, but would love to. I work at Rush Off-Road Park, Rush, Kentucky. I am the Park and Trails Development, 700 acres. Plenty of orbs close by, footprints and tree knocks. Wow, there you go.
You know, I've heard that those state parks and stuff in Kentucky are thick with puppy dude.
There's the orbs right there. Bigfoot, Littlefoot. Have you seen an increase in that orb activity over the past 2 years that you can think of? And that was in Cheatham County, Tennessee. Is where that report was that Dewey was talking about, guys.
Oh.
Looking good there, looking good. I'm going to take this time to thank every single one of you guys. We're not heading off just yet, so don't think that's what this is. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in and enjoying the show with us and sharing your stories. Like I said, I think that is what we're here for. We're here to talk about this stuff. I know a lot of people who do lives, they stay strict, right on topic. That's what the podcasts are for. These are not that. These are for you guys to talk to and for us to talk back. So it's kind of like talk radio, but not. As of probably this weekend, we will have hit our major milestone. We should have our 4,000 subs on YouTube, and we could not have done that without you guys. And once we hit that, we're going to do I think we're going to do a special giveaway, some kind of drawing. I got to figure out how all the rules are going to work, but it's definitely going to be up, and everybody's going to have a chance to get involved in it. Of course, it'll be a free drawing. You all earned it.
Yep.
And then we're going to do some more cool stuff, because at that point, we should be able to run this show just on the generosity of you guys watching videos and nothing more. If you want to throw some, donations like we have had in the past, all you have to do is purchase something from the store. I believe we have a couple more of those patches left over there. And we're going to put some other cool things in there very soon for you guys. Right before they go to Withville, I'm going to put a very, very limited number of some of our acrylic works over there. And you guys can grab you a couple of those. Yeah, I might, and that way we can get get next month's donation paid for by somebody. And if you do, of course, you'll get your name mentioned, obviously.
And
Right,
this
Adam?
one's sponsor as well.
Right, Adam?
Right?
You're still the sponsor. You got, where's it at? Oh, I printed out another one. I didn't like the other one, so I printed out another one. And this one is way, way smoother. So I'm not going to have to do as much to it. And I wanted to ask you, I've got an idea for this. Do you want me just to be artistic with it? Or?
Go for it.
Okay. Cool.
Please.
We'll do it. You got it. You got it. It will be a really cool necklace, though. It's going to be cool. Then you're going to have to find you some beads to put on it.
Have you ever seen the mummy they found that has an elongated skull?
Yeah.
It is so creepy looking.
Yeah.
Oh, have you heard about the
Oh my
one
God!
that they've
Hold
been
up, guys.
selling out of?
Hold your thought. I got to put this up.
Oh. Oh.
Nice.
Virgil Kane from Manchester, England. Welcome to Wild and Weird Radio. It is great to have you aboard.
What is it, like 3 a.m. over there right now?
Wow. Talk about dedication right there.
Uh-huh.
Hey, if you got anything to share, feel free to share. We're
Go
all
on, you.
listening. Great to have you. Great to have you. All right, Adam. Sorry about that. I saw that. I'm like, wait, what?
Have you been hearing about the mummies that are coming out of Mexico and South America?
I've heard rumors.
with the eggs and stuff in them.
I've
that
heard.
are being bought up.
Is
billionaires.
what's the story? Like the legit story, or is it still just kind of?
They found it wouldn't be Mexico then; it would be Incas, I believe. But some basically people are selling some mummies that are supposedly alien, and they found them in caves, and that they are still in communication with the people in the caves apparently. But Russia just recently bought one. I think America's bought one, and quite a few other countries. But some of them have been x-rayed and had scans done to them, and they found eggs in them.
What? Eggs?
Yeah. Like you would if you would x-ray a chicken.
Oh my God.
When it's fertile.
Oh wow. No,
I wonder if Bob Bigelow bought one.
That part I haven't heard. Eggs, no. That's new.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's terrifying.
But that's just something that billionaires are playing with at the moment, apparently.
Sure. I mean, as one does.
I'll find the link and send it to you.
Yeah,
it's like some H.R. Geiger nightmare.
Pretty much.
Ah,
That's all I could think about.
there's our answer. Bigfoot, Littlefoot. 2 weeks ago, across my valley, white one, basketball size, in the woods. Man, we need to get out your way, apparently, with some gear. Anita Island, parts of Kentucky were basically taboo for settling or traveling through back before
That was West
settlers came
Virginia.
in because of things. Well, okay, so that was Kentucky, or however they said it. I can't remember the exact word, but all of that into West Virginia was Kentucky. It was the Shawnee Territory.
Mm-hmm.
All of that was Shawnee Territory, from what I recall. And yeah, Anita, you're absolutely right, because that was the Battle of the Giants, a battle against the Giants. And basically, they killed them out, and they were afraid of the giant ghosts, and they probably had right to be, honestly.
Also, the Moon-Eyed people.
Yeah, let's not forget the Moon-Eyed people. Let's not forget the Moon-Eyed people. There's something to that. Had a diamond-shaped UFO drop off 5 juvenile Bigfoot after I had asked them to show up. Now, here's the thing, Bigfoot, Littlefoot. On this show, you can say that. On a lot of them, I know people would be like, okay, I'm out. No, absolutely not, because this is stuff that happens. It gets thrown out because it seems too weird. But there are multiple accounts of what you just said. And the whole communication thing. I used to think that was all bunk. Not anymore. Not anymore. Because
needs to be talked about.
Well, I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know if we're dealing with actual Bigfoot or if they're taking the form of that. I don't know. I have no clue. Whatever it is, it's intelligent. I mean, I don't know any more than that. But I will tell you this, guys. The ancient people, the ancient First Nations people, they had no problem with that. They knew. They were sky people. Sky people brought those down. And that's literally what this says. That's what that says right there too. That's translated into old speak, sky people. Sky people dropped off. So yeah, I mean, I know that a lot of people won't go there and say that, but you can't ignore that, in my opinion.
Well, people in the res, like especially up in the northwestern, like Alaska, Canada, Vancouver, Oregon, Washington.
Yeah.
The tribes under the different lodges, they'll have their stories as currency.
Mhm.
Like, like they'll hold on to these things and keep it within their certain sect and,
Yeah.
Just use it as currency. So we're spending our currency quite freely here.
Yeah, it's true, right? It's true.
We're making it rain.
We're making it rain tonight, guys. We absolutely are. Let's see. Question: did you guys know there's a 1,500-foot-long serpent mound on Marathon Refinery property? Nope, I didn't. Do you have any more information on that? I heard a rumor once that there was another serpent-type mound, but I could never verify it. I've asked archaeologists or friends of archaeologists to see if they could find it, and I got literally nothing back on that.
Apparently, we have another guest this evening. A chihuahua wants to come say hi.
Gosh, it's a creature. Is it a screen image? No, it's real.
Look at those big black eyes and bulbous head.
Those big bulbous eyes.
Good night, Mr. Dewey. Thank you for dropping by and hanging out with us once more, my friend. You guys go over, if you have not done so, go over and grab one of Dewey's books. Go grab his latest book, though, because it's fitting this topic. Where is that sweet spot? It's here somewhere. There it is. Eye in the Sky. Dewey Edwards. He's got a lot of stuff in here. He's got the Hopkinsville incident. He's got my favorite, the Mantell incident. I mean, he really went into that big time. Better than anyone has pretty much ever gone into it, in my opinion. And it's great to see. You got a little bit of Travis Walton in here. You got a little bit of everything in there. So a little bit of ancient alien stuff in here too. He did a really good job on that. I highly recommend it. And I really tell you guys, if you like ufology, that's one you want to add, because Dewey actually did some good research on that. And he did first-hand research on it. And is continuing first-hand research. Wow, we're starting to pick up again. Someone just said, for really, guys? Do you really think you're going to get me to say it by just, come on, you know better. 20 foot wide, 5 foot tall. I can send you a Google Earth shot. Yes, please do so. Thank you so much. Yes, and it's made of limestone. Even more intriguing. Even more intriguing. Yep, that's the book you need to get. Absolutely. Get it from Dewey. He'll autograph it for you. Just, have him do that. And yes, Brandon has a minion with him. That is true. Correct. Oh man. So guys, any more accounts out there? You guys seeing anything? Heard anything? Got anything you want to share? I know as we get later here, we get toward evening out on the West Coast, and so we start picking some people up, because it almost seems like we start picking up the West Coast as we're signing off. And we're gonna have to stay on here one night till like 1 o'clock, Brandon. We need to do like a remember those old telethons? That's what we need to do. We need to do a telethon.
Yeah, start donating money and we'll stay up that late.
Oh heck yeah, let's do a telethon. That'd be fun. When we get monetized, you guys can do the super fun thing. That's what we'll do. For everyone who like sends in like, I don't know, $10 or something, we'll add a half hour. No, I'm kidding. I won't do that.
Buy a patch. We'll stay on another hour.
I am not staying on here that long.
We'll start charging you.
Right. Exactly. Look at Joe. He's like, oh God, no. No, Joe, you have to come on for at least 2 of those hours, bud. And that's in your contract. You just don't know.
I'll come back on.
There you go. We got another one. Look here.
Oh, people are calling for Ovilus.
Oh, I think you're right. I think it's time to go to Ovilus. Put our sighting last week. Okay, I thought it was you. All right, cool. Yes, I thought.
Hey, thank you.
Yes, I thought it sounded familiar.
Oh God.
Nah, well, maybe one night, sometime in the future.
Too old for that.
I mean, I don't sleep, so I could probably do it, honestly. Might have some vivid hallucinations somewhere toward the end, but I could do it.
Yeah, we could do it live where he's doing one of those audio experiments on himself.
That would be bad. Last time I did that, it didn't end.
Oh, it just happened again. Talked about it.
Bye, Ron.
Now he got zapped away.
Yeah, I was about to ask him if he recognized this window.
Well, Adam, something I was wondering, I was going to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any odd memories after you wake up from an experience? Like, did you ever wake up with your clothes on wrong, or
That's
did you
what I
wake up in
did.
a different room?
Oh, yeah. I've woken up in a
There we
different room, clothes on backwards, clothes that weren't mine.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so you've done that?
Yeah.
We were talking about that
Oh.
not too long ago. That people.
Ron, you're really hot right now.
How about here?
It's still
Check.
pretty loud for some reason.
Yeah.
It's a buffer issue.
I woke up
Yeah,
with a woman's tank top.
See, I told you. I told you. These happen. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
That
still
good?
pretty loud.
What in the world? I'm going to say it was a technical issue. Something's not right. So I'll talk really low. How's that? Can you hear me now?
It's
Anyone?
Bedroom voice.
a little better.
Anyone? Okay, we're going to go. All right, so anyway. Libby Perry. We got somebody here. Libby Perry, welcome to the show. I see and hear things all the time. Range from UFOs to paranormal to what I think could possibly be parallel paths crossing. Tons of pictures and videos to back it all up.
Oh, send it to us.
I believe you. I believe you.
Hey, Ron.
Yo.
Recognize this window?
Oh, that's where it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I see that.
Hey, Libby, if you ever want to come on the show and show us all this stuff, that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. And let me close this over here because it caused an issue. Really
Might
bad.
even bring you onto a podcast episode if you have enough.
There you go. So we're good there. Okay, so you guys want to do Ovilus? You got questions? If you got questions, feel free to ask first.
Who was it in the window?
What is it?
Who was it in the window?
In the window?
That one?
You mean the thing?
Yeah.
I don't know what that was, dude. I don't know what that was. I honestly don't.
You're gonna have to show me because I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Do you want to talk about that? I mean, that's up to you.
Well, I can't show the photo.
No, but you can talk about it. Yeah.
Um,
This is like one of them James Fox things. You're going to have to believe me. The photo exists. I've seen it. And one day you may see it too, but not right now. But go ahead.
yeah. One of the things I do with my time is I make bread. And it's a time-consuming ritual. Kind of becomes a meditation. I consider myself a kitchen witch.
You're an alchemist.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, whenever you're making bread, you're cooking living things.
Mhm.
So, I was just enjoying this meditative process, and I was talking to someone. It was at 3:00 in the morning, and the person I was talking to was on FaceTime, and she saw something in this window right back there, and she didn't alert me, but she took a screenshot, and she knew if she directed me to it that it would just disappear. And she took a couple more screenshots.
Did anybody just see a small orb back there behind him? And I am not even joking right now. In the exact same window spot. Like, is there any kind of reflection back there that could be going on? Because I just saw something move right over your shoulder. I'm not joking, dude.
The shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's the thing. We've gone through it. It's kind of a black mirror. And that technically is a black mirror. It's dark outside.
Yeah.
You know. And this being was in the window. She saw it. And whenever she recognized it, kind of, it turned its head and looked at her.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then just boop, gone.
My Lord.
I'm putting that on here as a 225 mark so I can go back and look at this. Somewhere around the 220, 225 mark, something was back there.
I don't want to watch that window the whole time he's talking about it.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
I
Mm-hmm.
had the distinct impression of the black mirror at that. Like,
Dude,
have anything be a black mirror.
Technically speaking, anything reflective could be.
technically. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what-
Even water can be.
Mm-hmm. Ponds, anything.
Yeah, technically anything, right?
That's why they like the water in caves so much. To go in there and view stuff. What, no
Now I'm going to
Stradamus?
be watching that window all the rest of the show.
Okay. Well, anyway, that was a little weird. More of those synchronous events. This is the thing. So when you put two experiencers into the same space, even virtually, weird stuff happens. Imagine if we got a bunch of you guys. Wait, I feel like I've done this before. This is like deja vu or something weird's happening.
Yeah.
I have a lot
Sounds
of
a little
that.
familiar.
Yeah. So imagine that. And you know what? We're going to do that. We're going to do that July. When is it, Brandon? I don't remember the date. I'll have to get it up. It'll be up on our page here soon. But we're going to be doing I'll be doing the discussion there in St. Albans, the paranormal discussion group. And it's going to be one you won't want to miss. I promise you. And we're going to ask experiencers to come forward, and you can you can talk, you can tell your experiences whatever you want. That's going to be at the end of it, obviously, because it's going to be a briefing. Is what I'm going to do. I'm trying to find the graphics for it for you guys. Right
There's
now.
another one coming up on May 31st. I'm not sure who's going to be leading that unless Trisha's on here and she can tell us.
I don't think she's on tonight. I think she had
I don't think I've seen her.
something going
No,
on.
she hasn't been here.
She's had something going on today.
Yeah, it's been a pretty big day for them.
So that is what's going to be happening. We're going to be doing UFOs, aliens, and contact out of the shadows. I'll be discussing a few contact type events. We'll be going over kind of like what we just went over tonight, but a lot more in depth, a lot more history behind it, not just open range. And then at the end, of course, I'm going to open it up to Q&A and experiencers. I will bet Adam's going to be a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
But those events are always great. Those guys do a good job down there, and we're happy to support them in any way we can. I'd like to really get that thing packed, and we're experimenting. Brandon, you going to be there?
I'm going to try to, yeah.
If Brandon's there, we're going to try, maybe, just maybe, to do a live broadcast. Not so much with everybody at the experiencers panel, because some people they don't want to be seen. That's granted. I understand that. But you'll at least get to see some of the presentation, and that's the goal. And I think that you guys will enjoy it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very informative. And if you don't catch it there, you can catch us in Withville, and I can't say the other one, but there's a big one that's coming up north, and you'll catch me there too. Okay, so everybody's asking for Ovilus.
Let's trigger something in Adam's window.
Oh, geez. Let's not.
Come on.
Ovilus, are you in his window?
Oh, wait. Hang on now, Libby Perry. Guys, this is the first live cast I've ever been in, so I'm trying to figure it out. Bear with me. You're fine. You're absolutely fine. If you were talking about sending stuff, just send it to that address that I popped up there. I'm going to pop it back up here for you, Libby. It's right here. And there is a contact. You'll find it. Well, wait. Let me make it easier for you. I did that wrong, Brandon. That's my fault. You ignore me. I got to find her actual Gmail, which is wildandweirdwv@gmail.com. And I thought it was on here. I have everything else but it, apparently. Which sounds about right. But yeah, it's wildandweirdwv@gmail.com.
I'll say just drop it in the chat.
She's got a lot of pictures, I think.
I mean, like just drop the email address in the chat.
Oh yeah, I'm going to pop it up here. There we go. WeirdWV@gmail.com, and I'll just have it scroll at the bottom. That way, it'll be down there, and you guys can.
I like the fact that Ron has a 1990s hacker keyboard.
You like it?
Like,
He's gonna hack the mainframe.
I got the. I wanted one that had that sound, and they're really hard to find anymore. So I found this one. This is one of the Razors. It's really cool. It lights up and does all kinds of crazy stuff.
Dude, it's yard sale season. Just hit up some yard sales. You'll probably find one.
I was going to either go with this one like this, or I was going to go with the actual typewriter looking ones.
Yeah.
I started to get one of those. I really came close to getting one of those, and I still might one day. But wouldn't that look cool out there on the road, sitting beside the Wild and Weird radio?
Yeah.
Yeah, it fits right in.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Let's see.
Or you can buy an old typewriter and like wire it into it so it looks like it's connected.
There you go. There you go.
Like a homemade time machine.
Hey, don't be sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about. We're all here. We're good. Don't worry about that. You're here.
Oh, we're all full of technical issues today.
We're happy to see you here. I mean, you weren't here for the first. Wait till you go back and play the first part of this show. You'll understand, especially if this was your first live. So I will say this, Libby. I've said it before, but since it is your first live, they're not all like this. A lot of lives are completely different. There's a structure, a set structure, and but that's what our podcasts are for. And the podcast will drop a day later. They drop tomorrow at noon, and you can watch that. But on the live, it's more like a radio talk, kind of like an old talk radio show. And that's kind of how we run this thing. So if you got questions, you ask them. If you want to, you're steering the conversation. You guys steer the conversation. I've got a loose script up here, but you guys steer it. So we've gone way off script at this point.
Yep, I think we're done with the script, honestly.
I think we are. Yeah, I think we're good. I think you guys. I hope we answered some of your questions about possible contact type stuff. I know Fishbelly and a few others were over there debating the government's involvement. That was great to see. What else was there? Let's see. Brandon. Oh, it's a moth. Anita said it's a moth. So we may have solved the mystery of the thing back there. Maybe, possibly. We'll see. Oh, she saw it again. Something moved up through the window. I didn't see this one.
What?
I missed it. So she said it was a moth. So anytime you guys see something moving back there, please type in the time so I can go back and look at it. We've got to
get up a webcam.
I know. Might as well. That's crazy.
Thinks it sees a lamp. It's trying to bump into it.
Yeah, probably. It's probably seeing the light from the other side and it's trying to get to it. Okay. I'm going
That's
to
a little
now.
symbolic, don't you think?
Well, you know what I mean, man. You know what I'm saying.
Something a couple of foot tall, though.
Y'all know what I'm saying, right? I mean, but the thing that I saw the picture of, it does exist, like I said, and I don't know. It left me scratching my head. I mean, you saw my reaction when you showed it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen anything like that before. Not in a photo.
No.
These things don't normally let themselves be photographed. There's a reason. Well, where's the Ovilus at? I can't find it. Found it.
Well, technically, I do live in Mothman country, so
Well, yeah,
not
that's
too
true.
far away from here.
Yeah,
I live.
yeah,
Just
it's
Malibu.
absolutely true. Absolutely true. All right, guys. Are you ready for the fun? Are you ready for why you come to this crazy, crazy thing called Wild and Weird Radio Live? Because we're ready to go now.
Ovilus on Legion.
No! You failed me! You failed me, Ovilus!
100.
Oh God. Now it's throwing numbers at us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, the Ovilus is
Fear.
live, and
Fear?
apparently 100 legions of fear killed JFK, James Bogg. We have the answer. Finally, we can put that one to bed.
Prayer.
Yes.
Oh my God. Fear
Yes.
and prayer.
Fear and prayer.
Adam, what
Yes.
have you conjured?
Just my family.
Okay, guys, Ovilus is up. Go ahead, ask your questions. We'll of course pipe them through to the other side and see if we get a response.
What was in the window?
Oh, that's good. What was in the window? Yes. Oh wait, Robin Sims. I know what you saw in the sky. I know what you saw in the sky. Ovilus thinks you have to knit something for Matthew McConaughey also, by the way. Knit was the word. Knit.
Strange.
Oh, it's strange.
Man.
So you saw something strange in the sky, is what I heard. Batting 1,000 so far.
Yeah, thanks, Adam.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That was great, man. Matthew McConaughey was in the window.
I was thinking that one too. I'm so happy about I created that.
Yeah, man. You started a legend. Didn't even know it. Okay, guys. Next question up for the Ovilus. Come on, somebody. Give me a good one. Give me a good
Yourself.
No, I'm not going to give you a question. That would be rude of me. I'm just translating stuff for these people, Ovilus. Jeez. Silly Ovilus.
What did she say?
Yourself.
Yourself?
Yourself. Yeah.
That actually says a lot right there about what was in the window.
Yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know who we are. That's Sky Daddy Matthew McConaughey's watching. Yes. There you go.
Ask it what Adam experienced when he was 3 years old.
Ask it what kittens taste like. That's just wrong, but whatever. Nothing yet.
Ate seafood buffet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not.
Let's actually hear us.
No. Object. I don't know. Either object or object. Maybe it objects. It could object to the question. It could be objecting to the question.
Could be.
Just says object.
Now, let's hear us talking.
How this thing works is basically upon EM fields that are generated around the phone itself, because it's phone app. Anybody can go download this, by the way. We're not affiliated with digital dowsing in any way, shape, or form, but we could be.
Shoes.
Choose to be. Shoes, yeah. So, but it's a fun little app.
On his shoes. All right.
And now
Have you
there's a
heard of
weird
that app
delay.
that will give you a random place to go to on Google Maps, and people have been finding like dead bodies and stuff?
It just called you a geek. but
Oh,
that's
well,
cool.
thanks. Not wrong, but have you heard of that app, Ron?
No, that sounds terrifying.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, it kept giving me. There's like a spot off the interstate not far from where I live at that it keeps telling me to go to, and I'm kind of afraid.
Well,
It's
Indra
like
told
literally
Cole,
like right beside the interstate.
well, Indra Cole told Woody that, and it worked out well for him. You should probably do it.
Yeah, there it is. I need them. It's called Randonauts.
What's that? Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
There are a lot of good videos of people going to the spots and showing what goes on, and
Oh, okay.
they'll freak themselves out.
It's always fun.
Some people have actually found dead bodies because of those coordinates.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. People. And we've got Robin Sims has sent in a the report here. So I've got that. Thank you, Robin. We got that added. Man, do you remember last week how active this thing was? It's like nothing.
Yeah, it was hot there for a minute.
Yeah, it was. It was crazy. Well, guys, we are approaching the 2 hour and 45-minute mark.
Remove.
That's what I'm planning on doing.
Measure.
So this is my new co-host.
Bacon.
Bacon. Bacon?
Oh, it was about Joe.
And we end the way we began, with bacon. What in the world? That's insane. Anyway, guys, I think that that's probably going to do us. Final thoughts, guys. What's your take on the contact, the whole experience, screen images, etc., etc.
To be honest, I think we're looking at something we barely know anything about.
Agreed. And trying to make sense of it. Like I said, it's like we're looking at the wake of the boat and we don't see the boat. We're just seeing the side effects. And in this case, the boat can make the waves look different.
Or it's like showing TV to a caveman.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
The supernatural is a science we haven't found yet.
Really is. It really is.
It's always been there.
It's always been there, and it's always been in legends. It'll always inspire people. It'll always make them ask these crazy questions and hopefully come together for, look what you guys did. You spent roughly 2.5 hours with us, and it was 2.5 hours that you didn't spend, getting, who knows, brainwashed by news media. You had a little bit of fun, and really that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, there's two periods of time
Commonality.
in history where they actually took the supernatural seriously. It was the Victorian era, and then like the 60s, 70s period when it was actually seriously looked at. And I think we're about to approach the third period soon.
Yeah.
If we haven't already started it.
Well, talk to the experiencers.
Frame.
We'll tell you the same thing. Frame. I don't know what that means. Anyway, everybody, thanks for coming. And Adam, I want to thank you for coming on the show, buddy. As always, yeah, man. Anytime we have an experiencer panel, any of you guys.
Telepathy. Threat.
Yep, that makes sense.
Come telepathy threat. Anybody can come on, as I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted by my automatic host here. Who threatened me, I guess. I don't know what that's all about.
It makes sense to me. I understand what's going on. I know what to do with that message.
I caught it all but threat. But yeah, that was weird. But yeah, come on the show and enjoy having a conversation with everybody, like I said. So hopefully we'll see you guys out there on the road sometime soon. Stay up to date. Stay tuned to where we're at. Watch the page. Watch the group page. Make sure that you're following us. Make sure you've subscribed and all that fun stuff. And thank you again. I am sure that we have probably hit our goal at this point. And oh wait, I got to do this first. I can't do that. You got to once you open this thing, you've got to close it. That's just how this works.
Ovilus on.
I know that's confusing, but it works. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for hopping on here with us and enjoying the show with us. And we'll see you again next week. I don't know what next week's show is about yet, but I'm working on something. We'll see if it happens. It's hard to say. Braden, any final thoughts? I am about to hit the button.
Yeah, do you want to talk real quick about the thing we've been working on?
No. Top secret stuff.
Oh,
Which one?
okay.
Yeah, that's top secret. You can't talk about that.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, everybody have a good evening, and we'll read you into the Secrecy Act eventually, and you'll like it when we do.